Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, or good morning, I guess, David. We were supposed to be here Wednesday afternoon. We're here on Saturday morning, racing for you from the Macon County Fairgrounds in Decatur, Illinois. We've got a slate of 9 races for the Downstate Classic. Over about $80,000 are given away today, David.
I think Leanne was saying it was $81,780, and if I'm not mistaken, I thought she said it was the highest total purse for Downstate Classic history.
All right, and so we're on the air with you today with that. Lisa Surratt on the camera, David Brink, and Steve Surratt with the other for you today. We're glad that you could join us for a full day of racing. David, I don't know the weather forecast I look for tomorrow. We're supposed to be back here for tomorrow for 11 races. Doesn't look very good for us in the morning.
I haven't pulled it up yet, but we'll hope the racing gods are with us again. We'll just cross our fingers and pray for the best. But it's a nice weather today. We missed the rain, the other that came through here, whatever night that was last week, and rained us out on Wednesday. But we're here on Friday, racing them early in the morning. The track's good. They're putting water on it. We're ready to go.
We are ready to go for racing here on the harness tube. I almost said that other name.
Hey, it's okay. I'll let it slide.
You'll let it slide? Well, we're happy about that. On harness tube, as we get ready for a day of harness racing. We're glad that you're here. Kurt Becker will be the announcer today, if I can speak. And David and I will have some commentary with that. With that, we'll take a station break and give our sponsors some time here. We'll be right back.
Stores, not local. How about some Napa antifreeze on sale for $8.99 for a full extended life? How about Napa full synthetic motor oil? 5-quart jug for $20.99. That's a 61% saving, or $4.49 by the quart. How about some Armor All leather car cleaner protectant, $5.49 for a container? Get the good stuff with Napa know-how.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
Back with you on Harness Tube as we get our land legs going here as far as broadcasting. And David, let's talk about From the Backstretch, brought to you by Harness Tube.
Yeah, the backstretch has been one of our favorite segments we kind of came up with, and it's just the idea of, my favorite part of these fairs was hanging out with everybody on the backstretch as a kid, and the community and camaraderie that we develop. And I wanted to bring that into these broadcasts as much as we could. So From the Backstretch on Harness Tube just basically means we want to hear from you. We want to hear wherever you're at. If you're watching from the barn area, if you're watching from your home, if you got a watch party going, or maybe you're at a nursing home or something like that, we'd love to hear where you're from, what your picks are. This is kind of a whole community feel, and I think that's what makes us so special here at Harness Tube is enjoying spending time with you, watching the races, talking about the races, talking about racing and fairs.
Yes, it's a great thing and a great concept that you have, that we are glad that we can bring you harness racing.
And there's different ways to reach us. Obviously, you can see on the screen there's chat, and YouTube has been a really, really, really easy way lately. But if you're not in the YouTube chat, if you're just watching on your TV, you can send us an email if you want to give us a shout out, or send a picture in, or a story, or a prediction, or even send a text.
Yeah. Favorite memories. We were talking about that the last race. I mean, you have a lot of favorite memories because your family's been in harness racing for so many years. Mine go back, to the timely series of horses by Gina Marcella Northrup and
take some people
out
back.
of Meridosha. From they trained in Griggsville, Rushville, Mount Sterling. Yours, your dad. A lot of memories fresh to you because your dad passed away this current year, and sorry for that for you, but harness racing has taken some hits, and a lot of people have memories of people that have gone on.
And that's a good point. We're finding out that some of our golden generation of our sport are at that age in their life when they are passing on, and we're losing some of these memories and some of these stories to time. So, maybe by sending them in to me on Harness Tube, and if we can read it on air, in some small way that memory lives on forever on the internet, and people can go back and listen to it and reminisce, and maybe someone remembers what you remember, if it's a location or a person and they haven't thought about them for a while. We'd love to hear from you.
The other thing that we have, we'd love for you on the backstretch is not only send messages on YouTube or to David, but to also send us pictures. We've got some pictures. These are back from the first week, folks. We'd really like to have some new pictures out there and available. We've got Sour Grapes, who's running today, and I think about race 6 or 7.
Somewhere, pretty old Philly pace.
Is watching Harness Tube on a phone, and I thought that was a great picture. Then we've got Wyatt Evanetti
down in Oak Grove.
Oak Grove watching us down there. And then another one, have a watch party with Harness Tube. 2, 3, 4, 5. Fun to enjoy the stylings here. Okay. As we get ready to go here, as I had Kurt in my head, and you all couldn't hear it. But have a nursing home watch party. Have a watch party at your house. Take some pictures and send those.
Bring your neighbors
to
over.
us.
Today's a good day if you're not working. Maybe sitting out, drinking some coffee. Drink some iced tea in the nice, beautiful weather. Watching Harness Tube on your iPad or something, laptop outside. Send us a picture. We'd love to see from you.
All right. We're going to take another break here. We'll be back after these messages.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Back with you on Harness Tube. We'll put Kurt on the air here for a few moments. We'll see what he's got pre-race.
At 9:30. There are a number of changes on today's program. If you would like to make a note of those at this time, programs are on sale in the grandstand. There are also programs on sale at the racing office, the Jack Whiteside Speed Tower, located just outside of the West Turn. So let's take a look at those early program changes. A lot of driver changes today. In the opening race, please note, in the first race, the driver of the 2 Illini Diva is Jordan Patton. That's in the first race. Number 2, Illini Diva, the driver, Jordan Patton. No changes in the second race. In the third race, the driver of number 7, Tear in My Beer, Juan Franco. That's in the third race, number 7, Tear in My Beer, Juan Franco, the driver. In the fourth race, the driver of number 3, Slip Slide, Juan Franco. Again, that's in the fourth race. The driver of number 3, Slip Slide, is Juan Franco. And the driver of the 6, Lose Gambler, Chris Brown. Number 6, Lose Gambler, the driver, Chris Brown. In race number 5, the driver of number 6, Paradise Tomorrow, Wyatt Avenatti. That's race 5, number 6, Paradise Tomorrow, the driver, Wyatt Avenatti. And on number 7, Revenge Rosie, make the driver Travis Siekman. That's race 5, number 7, Revenge Rosie, the driver, Travis Siekman. Sixth race, the driver of number 1, Sour Grapes, Zyler Maxwell. Race 6, number 1, Sour Grapes, Zyler Maxwell. And that first name is spelled Z-Y-L-E-R. It's just like Tyler, except it's spelled with a Z. Zyler Maxwell on the 1. On the 4, Fox Valley Tessa, the driver, Travis Siekman. Number 4, Fox Valley Tessa, the driver, Travis Siekman. Still more changes. Race 7. The driver of the 2, Fox Valley Tatum, Steve Searle. That's race 7, number 2, Fox Valley Tatum. The trainer, Steve Searle, will also be the driver. The 8th race, driver of number 4, Fox Valley York, Juan Franco. That's the 8th race, the driver of the 4, Fox Valley York, Juan Franco. And in the 9th and final race, the driver of number 2, JR Strike 3, Juan Franco. That's in the 9th and final race, number 2, JR Strike 3. The driver is Juan Franco. Cordarius Stewart, if you're curious why he's off his mounts, we're happy to report everything's fine with Cordarius. There were no issues. In fact, he just drove yesterday down at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds and had a good day. He had 3 wins there. The only reason Cordarius is not here today, when the rain changed the schedule and we had to carry the races over to Friday morning. Well, Cordarius has other commitments today at Harrah's Hoosier Park in Indianapolis. So that's the only reason Cordarius is not here, but for those of you that know Cordarius or are friends of his, just wanted to clarify, he's fine, he's doing well, he just had other commitments today. Stand by, our pre-race ceremonies will be coming up very shortly. Once again, our thanks to the TMT Trio. Good to have them with us.
Back with you on a harness tube. Steve Surratt, David Brink here with the broadcast today for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube and on Facebook. Those numbers mean a lot to us as far as what's available to us. And we want to thank all of our sponsors, not only our 30-second commercial people, but we also have people that are doing our business card, billboard, whatever you want to call it, ads for us that help us along. And then also our donors help us, David.
Absolutely. You know, last year we had some dialogue about different ways to help contribute to us. People had ideas about they wanted to get involved but didn't know how or didn't need a commercial. So we came up with this idea of these little billboards or business cards, and we're using them on the screen, and that's been kind of working so far. But the donations are still accepted. They're super popular. Yeah, but if you have a need for an ad, you know, we have ad time here. We'd love to put your commercial up on our broadcast.
All right, and our schedule is pretty full. We're in Decatur. That says the 5th, and you'll notice that on some dates. We were supposed to be here
the
2 days
5th,
ago, but it got rained out, and we're here today. Like I said, I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring because there's rain in the forecast, but we'll be back to Decatur tomorrow at 11 a.m., and then a full schedule for you. We're trying to hit as many county fairs as we possibly can David, in the schedule, as it's a 2-tier schedule there.
Yeah.
And possibility it's not confirmed for Marshall after the Brown County
We've been
Fair.
in talks with Marshall. They want to have us. I think you guys are kind of talking about like you're maybe willing to go. We're working on some details with the technical aspects of it that we've never been there before. But we hope we can get there.
All right.
Attention at the barns, horsemen, you may come to the track with the first race.
With that, we will take another commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
I have been interested in truck driving my whole life. I've been fascinated with the big rig since I was a kid. But after college, I got into business on the marketing side of things, kind of shelved the dream. 30 years later, I quit my job, signed up for truck driving school. It was exciting from the get-go. Dot recruited out of my truck driving school. The job was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. My weeks absolutely fly by. When my life needed fulfillment, I took the wheel.
Los Rancheros Restaurant in Mount Sterling is your destination for authentic Mexican food. Open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come and enjoy their daily specials on food and drink. Having a party? Check out Los Rancheros for catering your next event or gathering. Los Rancheros Authentic Mexican Restaurant, 408 Quincy Road, Mount Sterling. Call 217-773-7800.
Timewell Drainage Products is a locally owned family company that has provided incredible employment opportunities in our area for over 40 years. Our constantly growing company is always looking for dynamic individuals who want to be part of an innovative, fast-paced team. To join our team, visit us online at timewellpipe.com. Timewell Drainage Products, a proud community employer since 1982.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Downstate Classic here at the Macon County Fair, and this is the site where the Downstate Classic was born back in 1992. The first edition was held, and it's great to have everyone back with us after the rain that hit on Wednesday. Wonderful that everybody, horsemen and racing fans alike, able to be here today for the Downstate Classic. First race of the day will be the first division of the 3-year-old filly trot, the Carl Becker Memorial, race named in memory of Carl Becker, who for many years was the track announcer here at the Macon County Fair, and of course is a member of both the Illinois Hall of Fame and the National Harness Racing Hall of Fame as well. In the first race today, reminder, there is a driver change. Number 2, Illini Diva, Jordan Patton, will be the driver. Jordan Patton, the driver for number 2, Illini Diva in the first race. I think one of the big question marks about the first race of the day, folks, you've got 2 horses from the powerful Steve Searle stable in the first race. He's the trainer of both the 4 Lose Amazon and the 5 Honolulu, and Steve has won a lot of these Downstate Classic races over the years, but here's the question. Those 2 fillies, number 1, they have to start from the far outside, so they might get caught a little wide going into the first turn and might have to travel an extra distance of ground. And in the meantime, there's one other aspect here. That is the fact that they have not had a great record on half-mile tracks, Luz Amazon and Honolulu. By comparison, the other three, Fox Valley Jessie, Illini Diva, and Alibaba, those three have all been winners on half-mile tracks and have all been winners on county fair half-mile tracks. So, does the half-mile track experience pay off in the first race for numbers 1, 2, and 3? Or instead, does the traditional powerhouse stable of Steve Searle overcome that factor? Luz Amazon and Honolulu, they've done some great things on the big 1-mile tracks, but they don't have as much experience and not as accomplished on these half-mile racetracks. So that'll be one of the storylines that we follow in the first race today. Fun to see members of the Decatur Camera Club here today. Those folks, we have a couple of photographers positioned here on the infield. They do great work. You can see their handiwork online. I believe you can see some of their pictures posted on the fair's Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com, and that is correct, thank you, ladies. If you go to facebook.com, enter Macon County Fairgrounds in the search field, and when you get to the fair's Facebook page, you will see some fantastic imagery, the photography that the Decatur Camera Club provides. There's the ambulance positioned on the infield. Our presiding judge, Mr. Jim Austin, who comes to us from Lincoln, Illinois, is right now conversing with the folks over at the ambulance, just making sure that everyone is ready to go racing as we await the arrival of the horses on the track. You heard us call for the horses for the first race. If you're wondering why so far we haven't seen anybody respond, it's because it's our understanding that right now our audio technician, Miles, is tweaking the speakers over in the barn area. The horsemen having some difficulty hearing the announcement. So sit back, relax. We'll be underway in just a moment. Again, horsemen come to the track. First race as we get set for Downstate Classic Day. $80,000 plus in purses, and indeed those horses now beginning to work their way to the track. Great day for racing, folks. We're glad you're with us.
Okay, David, back with it. We'll go over our picks real quick here. Lisa picked the 1-horse Fox Valley Jessie. She likes that Fox Valley Jessie. And it's a Jamaica-trained horse out there also. And she liked the Illini Diva for second, and fourth, Luz Amazon. Again.
Yeah.
Luz Amazon.
Luz Legacy.
Luz.
There's a lot of Luz. Honolulu,
Luz Amazon.
Yeah.
Talk about your picks for a minute.
Yeah, on top, I went to the 2, Illini Diva. I remember this little filly when she was a little foal. Ed Tiefy bred her. She's out of a mare named Beatrice that Kevin's cousin, Irv Miller, raced and had some success with. Out of the Illinois champion, Luz Legacy, sire, I had to go on top there. And like Kurt was saying earlier, maybe a little bit better on a half-mile. A new driver. We do have Jordan Patton in the bike. That might help or hurt. We'll find out. Cordarius isn't here. For second, I went down to Luz Amazon. That horse is one of the best in the state, when it's right. On the mile track, it's been winning everything big last quarters. And for third, I went into Fox Valley Jessie. Marcus Turner for Jamaica, coming off 2 wins, county fair track. Gator at a county fair, I think he's going to be driving extra hard to get that win in the downstate. So I went 2-4-1.
Well, I went 4-1-2, and so if we're doing the box, all 3 of us would win. But if the exacta, it's going to be a different story as I picked the 4-horse, Luz Amazon. And second, I picked the Fox Valley Jessie. And then in that third spot, the Illini Diva. So we all have the same 3 horses, but we all have them in a different order.
I think this whole day is kind of hard to handicap. There's a lot of wide open races that have a lot of competitive horses. Even if they're not huge fields, you might have a 5-horse field, but 4 of them could be right there. So, yeah, we should see a lot of good racing today. Go like Kurt said, going for $81,000. Gotta love that. Quick note I wrote down here, the driver's changes, if you didn't hear those and we didn't quite get them maybe, I'm trying to put them in the YouTube chat as well. So if you want to check back for your driver changes at home, check the YouTube chat.
And I think I got the only one on this one was Illini Diva, right, with Jordan Patton.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that if any more come in or anything, we'll start doing that so that way there's somewhere we're keeping it so I can check back my notes.
All right. As we get ready for track time here, I'm going to Kurt's mic back up so that if he starts here in a moment that we can just back off. But a beautiful day for racing today, David. The track seems to be in really good shape today. In fact, they've had to water a little bit even after all the rain that they had the other day.
And I talked to Fair Board President Evan Hall, and he said that Tuesday night they were out here till 3 a.m. working this track, trying to get it ready for the races on Wednesday. Woke up Wednesday morning, got a little shower, and it just wasn't to be. But today we have a nice track. Like you said, they're putting water on it, so we're going to see some dust flying by the end of the day. Should see some good miles. It's a hot track.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, I understand what they went through, having got baseball diamonds ready with dirt infields. Once you work it,
it's the kiss of death.
You do not want any more rain because you've turned that all over.
Yeah.
And so now when it rains, you're out of business at that point.
You're exactly right. The horse wants that track turned over. Their hoof, when we're working this track up, we're actually kind of adding air in between the dirt particles and fluffing it up, if you will, making it a little, I don't know what the right term to use is for kind of a nomenclature, but, we want that hoof to kind of respond to the dirt. But in doing so, that gives place for water to seep in and make it muddy and erode and make it slimy out there and loose. So it's a fine line. When the track is fast, we don't want any Mother Nature on it.
Absolutely. And so just, again, a beautiful day. And, David, why do we do harness tube? Are we trying to keep people away from the fairgrounds?
Absolutely not. If you're anywhere in the area, come on out, because I tell you what, it's 10 times more fun. If you're having fun following along, it's 10 times more fun being here. Nothing replaces when a grandstand just pops. When you get that turn for home and everyone just starts getting rumbly and cheering and, over in the barn area, the camaraderie, seeing old faces. Come on out to the fairs, get a corn dog, ride a ride, see the exhibits. Fairs were started because of horse racing back in the day. Guys would take their grocery getter, their horse and their wagon, and go into town and race their neighbors. And wives would bring their local, baked goods or grown from the garden, and that's kind of how fairs started. So we love having you come out to the fairs. We support fairs. I grew up on them.
First race, starters are out.
Love them. Can't say it enough.
Our thanks once again to the TMT trio, keeping us entertained here on Downstate Classing Day and doing a great job. And our thanks once again to the Decatur Convention and Visitors Bureau and also Decatur Bolt Company, our presenting sponsors for the Downstate Classic. We'll parade to the post here in just a moment for the first of our 9 races to get us started. Those of you who are in attendance today, since each race is a memorial race, we know a number of family members are with us here today, and you are absolutely welcome to come trackside and help present those blankets and trophies here today. All you have to do is, once the race is finished, feel free to come on down and trackside, and we will do the presentations in front of the backdrop that's here on the infield with the State of Illinois logo. Horseman, one note from our presiding judge for the parades to the post today. We ask that you would please form the post parade at the end of the backstretch near the quarter pole, and we'll be right with you in just a moment. I was just saying, when they put an 8, they're coming this way. Okay, so coming this way. Horsemen, what we will do with the post parades, as we've been doing throughout the summer with the new safety initiative that is in place to keep all of the traffic, the equine traffic, moving the same direction on the racetrack, just as the horsemen are doing, they will congregate at the end of the back straightaway near the quarter pole. They will line up in post position order. They will make their way around that west turn to the top of the home stretch. They will parade past the grandstand and then go straight to the starting gate. And again, folks, you might have noticed, you longtime racing fans, something a little different this year. And again, it's a safety initiative which we've adopted in Illinois that's patterned after a similar initiative on the Indiana circuit, the Indiana Fair and Parimutuel circuit, which is to keep all of the equine traffic, warm-ups throughout the day, and post parades keep everybody moving in just one direction. So here they come now off the far turn into the home stretch to parade to the post. First division of the Downstate Classic 3-year-old filly trot. Again, these are Illinois conceived and foaled horses. A purse of over $8,700. The first division of the Carl Becker Memorial. Number 1 is Fox Valley Jessie, runner-up in the Downstate Classic as a juvenile at the Brown County Fair at Mount Sterling. Owned by Sherry Boldovich of Lakewood, Colorado. Jamaica Patton, Rochester, Illinois. Linda Allhands of Monticello, Illinois. Trainer Jamaica Patton, driver Marcus Turner. 2 2, Illini Diva won the Downstate Classic as a 2-year-old last year at Mount Sterling. Owned by Keith and Kevin Miller of Arthur, Glenn Otto of Arthur, Brian Lohman of Broadlands, trained by Kevin Miller. A reminder, contrary to the program, the driver Jordan Patton. Number 3 is Alibaba. Only one career win. That was on a half-mile track, though, and that was up in Canada last year. Owned by Robert Silberberg of Farmington Hills, Michigan. Co-owned by Dave Brown from Harrisburg, Illinois. The trainer is Jim Eaton, the driver Wyatt Avenatti. Number 4, Luz Amazon, owned by the Flacco Family Farms LLC of Alexis, Illinois, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco. Trainer Steve Searle, the driver Casey Leonard. And number 5, Honolulu, owned by Steve Searle of Grant Park, Brian Code of Bradford, and James Nellinger of Peoria, trained by Steve Searle. Travis Seekman is in the race bike. Headed to the starting gate, our starter is Stacy DeRoos out of Charleston, Illinois. Aaron DeRoos is driving the gate, and they have just picked up the field for the first race at the end of the back straightaway. Casey Leonard of Harvard, Illinois, your driver for number 4, Luz Amazon, coming off a big day yesterday at the races that were held further downstate at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds. Casey led all drivers yesterday, 4 victories on that 14-race card. Can Casey Leonard pick up where he left off yesterday? Can the Steve Searle stable keep adding more downstate classic trophies, or will somebody else go to the winner's circle? We're about to find out. Good to have you with us. Big day, $80,000 plus in purses. Here they come for the first of our 9 downstate classic races. And they are off and trotting, and Alibaba quick to grab the racetrack. Alibaba goes right out for the early lead. Luz Amazon gets away in second position. Illini Diva is away third down toward the inside. Fox Valley Jesse comes away in fourth, and Luz Amazon has broken stride. Luz Amazon breaks stride midway on that east turn the first time around this morning, and that means the stablemate Honolulu moves up into fourth. But Luz Amazon, one of the favorites in the first race based on her accomplishments last year, breaking stride, and that changes the complexion of this race as the leaders go by the quarter-mile mark. Alibaba is on top. Alibaba is the leader and leads it by a length and a half. 32-2. Thank you, Pete Skeffington, our timer. 32-2 for the opening quarter. It is Alibaba on top. Illini Diva's getting a great trip, drafting right in behind the leader in second. Then a gap of 3 lengths back to Fox Valley Jesse, third a length. Honolulu is fourth, and a gap of 20 more lengths back to Luz Amazon, a filly that won over $30,000 last season, is the distant trailer after that costly break in stride. 104 flat for the first half mile. 104 flat. Back to the east side of the course they go. It is Alibaba who is the leader by just a length. Illini Diva is second. Here comes Honolulu. Now here's the other filly from the Steve Searle stable, moving up on the outside. Third. Now to challenge for second. Still a length and a half off the lead. Fox Valley Jesse is now in fourth and racing 4 lengths from the front. And Luz Amazon is still the distant trailer as the field goes by the 3/4 mile mark. 136 flat the time. 136. Alibaba leads it by a length around the turn. Honolulu is second by just a half length. Illini Diva is still there. Now, Illini Diva's been right behind the leader since the start. She's looking for room, and here she comes. Alibaba's got the lead, and here comes Illini Diva to the outside. Alibaba still has the lead by a length in deep stretch, and Alibaba springs the upset in the opening race of the day. Alibaba wins it by a length on the line for Wyatt Avenatti. It was Illini Diva home second. It was 8 more lengths back to Honolulu in third. Fox Valley Jesse in fourth. Luz Amazon across the wire in fifth.
2:05 and 2.
2:05 and 2. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 2. And folks, we start the day with an upset. Alibaba, 1 win in 13 starts coming into this program, but we told you that 1 win was on a half-mile track in Canada, and she is headed to the winner's circle.
All right, David, a good race. The 3. Hey, none of us picked the 3
Big
to
surprise.
be anywhere. Big surprise by everybody. Big surprise. Amazon dropping back,
Yeah, making
got
that
out of
break
the
there.
gate and could not make up any ground
But
at
you
all.
know, these county fair races, county fair tracks are the big equalizer. I remember coming here with an underdog, kind of same thing, and these big horses come out of Chicago for the Irv Miller stable. In that first turn, they just hit it too hot. They're not used to bending around, and they make a break. So that it's going to be an exciting day of races. It could happen a lot.
Well, if we were going by exacta picks, Lisa only picked the second horse. She was the only person to pick a horse in its place, and none of us would have got the box either.
Hey, I had a line idea in my top three. I picked her.
Well, I know, but Lisa picked her to finish second.
It has been a long time since trainer Jim Eaton has raced a horse in the Downstate Classic. We talked to Jim earlier this week. Jim Eaton told us, he said, I think I've only raced in the Downstate Classic once, and he said that's probably been 25 years ago. Well,
Yeah, set up that way.
so first point of order is welcome back to the Downstate Classic, Jim Eaton.
Okay.
And welcome to the winner's circle, folks. This is a great lesson. I don't know how many people would have given this filly a chance based on her record coming into this race, but you know what? Never count anybody out. And how about a hand for the winner of race 1, number 3, Alibaba. John and Susan Becker are presenting the Carl Becker Memorial blanket down trackside to the connections. Alibaba, owned by Robert Silberberg of Farmington Hills, Michigan. Dave Brown of Harrisburg, Illinois. Bred by Wayne Puckett of Pittsfield, Illinois. The winning 3-year-old filly by class included out of Alley Hall by Garland Lobel. Only her second win in her 14th career start, but she loves a half-mile track. And Wyatt Avenatti drove her with confidence, took her right to the lead. You got to give Wyatt credit here also, because he drove this filly like she had a chance to win. John and Susan Becker offering their congratulations. Of course, John, the eldest son of the late Carl Becker, and Susan was Carl's daughter-in-law. And let's check in with Scott Beal. He's standing by with our winning driver.
Wyatt, big win, first race of the day. When did you know you had it wrapped up?
Well, I didn't really know the whole mile. You know, with a young filly that doesn't get on the front very often, you never know how she's going to act. Coming around the last turn, I could see the horse that was first up was struggling, so I had a pretty good feeling. Jordan Patton was sitting on my back, and he came to me, but this mare just put him away.
Well, that's great. I heard Kurt mention it was the first win in America, so that's great. Congratulations. Yeah, you had a win before in Canada, but welcome to America. Nice job. We'll see you later today. 3 more races for you today. Is that right, Wyatt?
A few more.
A few more. That's right. Well, good luck the rest of the day.
And thank you, Scott, interviewing our winning driver, Wyatt Avenatti, out of Chrisman, Illinois. And Wyatt, a cancer survivor, by the way, folks. 27 years of age, Wyatt Avenatti. He's a fighter, he's a survivor, and he's a winner here at the Downstate Classic. So here's the full field rundown. It's official for that first race. From the top, Fox Valley Jesse finished 4th. Illini Diva, the runner-up. Alibaba, the winner. Lou's Amazon finished 5, and Honolulu was 3rd. They got the quarter in 32 and 2/5 seconds. They got the half in 1:04. 3/4 in 1:36, and the time for the mile 2:05 and 2/5. Reads down 4:21.53. Also good to see Evan Hall, our fair president, speed superintendent, and Downstate Classic president, trackside as well, to offer congratulations to our winning connections. Alibaba, boy, that certainly resets things to.
Hello, Earl Flack for your locally owned McKay Napa Auto Parts store. Let's talk about June savings. You're always talking about savings. Well, when you got a deal, you talk about it. Save up to 38% on Mobile One Advanced Full Synthetic Motor Oil for $34.99 for a 5-quart jug, or $6.99 for a quart. I know some of you guys are used to going to the box store, but you don't have to go there. Stop by McKay. We're pretty good guys. Also, make sure you got your lawn and garden battery, your motorcycle battery, your golf cart battery, your automotive battery. Heck, we even got flashlight batteries. Get the good stuff.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years, with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411, or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
It's 1%. What are the horse sales for?
All right, back with you on Harness Tube. Steve Surratt, David Brink back with you. Want to thank Midwestern Illinois Racing Association for their sponsorships. 2 races down the tube for them. We're going to be at the Cole County Fair, oldest continuous fair in the state of Illinois, David.
Mm-hmm. And they're racing 3 days this year, Monday, Wednesday, Friday that week. So we're going to be down there 2 of those days, and we'll see what we can do the rest of the week. But, yeah, we'll be down there at Coles County.
Absolutely. As we have race 2 coming up for you in this contest today. And I don't have...
Roll them up.
A stable name. And there were several investors in that stable. And just speculating here, I believe that what may have happened was the stable might have decided to dissolve, but probably gave the right of first refusal to the investors and said, look, if any of you want to keep this filly, feel free to speak up and you can buy us out. And if that indeed is the case, I've got to think Robert Silberberg and Dave Brown are feeling pretty good about retaining ownership in that filly, because nothing better than to start the summer. We're not quite to summer yet, but nothing better than to start the spring and summer portion of the schedule than with a win on the richest day of racing in Illinois County Fair, on the County Fair circuit statewide. Second race is on the way. Again, no scratches in race 2 today. And another interesting showdown here, and perhaps the sleeper pick is number 4, Peekaboo Sal. Because Peekaboo Sal, she only won once last year, but that was a pretty fast mile at the Coles County Fair in Charleston, and we hear fantastic training reports on Peekaboo Sal. So if she can live up to the training report, she will be a handful today. But you know what? You've got a 7-time winner starting from post 1. That G.J. Linda Grit was a monster on the fair circuit last year. So looks like another competitive race on the way.
All right, David. Kurt Becker even agrees with you on your picks for this race.
Great minds think alike. What can I say?
Oh my goodness gracious! I don't know if I'd go that far, but
no. Peekaboo Sal. I think Kurt mentioned it last year. That belongs to Bill and Craig Wright's All Right Racing up in Morton, Illinois. I want to say that Bill had a horse named Peekaboo Sal 40, 50 years ago. So this was kind of a recycled name, and I remember that horse last year, so that's why I went on top for that one.
Okay, that's your first pick. The second pick is G.J. Lindegrit.
G.J. Lindegrit.
And then your last one is True Fortune. Lisa and I, kind of similar, as we both picked the one horse. We went, as Randy would say, we went for the favorite.
The chalk horse.
The chalk horse. G.J. Lindegrit. And then we flip-flopped. She picked the 4-horse for second, and I picked the 2-horse for second, and we flip-flopped that for third. So as we get ready here for racing today, it'll be great. I'll put Kurt back up, so if he comes back on the air.
I think he's off. I'm glad we got Kurt up on that last one, though, because he was mentioning how that Alibaba belonged to the stable.ca, one of our advertisers. And I want to bring up how good of a point that is. You know, they sell 1% of these horses as yearlings out of these auctions. So when that horse was 2, you could have bought 1% of it to race at these fairs or at Chicago as well. And then it sold to the interest. Some of the first right of refusal had some local interest that stayed connected to that horse. And here it is, a downstate champion. So, you know, the stable.ca helps break down that barrier of buying a racehorse, and hopefully if you have a good one, then you stay invested and buy the rest of it out or something.
And we talked, that was not the case years ago.
No.
In harness racing, and you had to be a very elite
there
person
used to be,
own that. And what I would call this upper echelon, middle, bottom, and we've talked about this before. I just see the barn as the barn.
The barn is the barn, and there's folks from all walks of life, from all socioeconomic demographics, and we all come together for the love of watching these horses go in circles. It's a crazy thing, but it's so cool because with those connections and you know, you're meeting people, and you can. It's amazing how much that prevailed or pervasive across the United States. You'll go in and meet somebody who's racing over in Kentucky or in Ohio, and instantly have communication with them and something you both love and both can talk about. So, yeah, it's amazing.
It is, and like we said, we talk about the owner of Sour Grapes, Julie. She was a travel nurse, invested in horses, and now she's got the bug, so to speak. She's had a couple of really good horses out of the gate, David, and so anybody from any walk of life can invest in a horse. And folks, if you don't have horses training on your local fairgrounds, maybe you need to invest in a horse. Maybe you need to invest in a trainer to train.
Or this idea, the fractional ownership thing. If you get enough people together and split the costs up, if someone will do the paperwork or the bookwork for it all, there's enjoyment to be had for sure. And there's
Believe
no
I
reason
spot William Meredith. William, is that you?
Okay.
Who we got there?
With today's technology, there's no reason to have to take that whole liability on yourself. We can figure out ways with technology and computers and software to spread out that the expenses and get people involved in horse racing.
Find 10 people, 10% each on a horse. And
or if you've got a granddaughter or a grandson who happens to like horses, buy him 1% a horse and follow it all year long. Watch that horse race all across the country or all across the fairs. It's bonding time, with family. It's something that's quality time you'll never forget.
Absolutely. Or talk to a trainer that's training at your facility and say, I'd like to invest in a horse. Can you hook me up with somebody?
Where can I get one? Yeah.
And so, Brown County's an example. There's been several people that have gone together in Brown County where we're from.
We used to have a little outfit called Hornet Racing LLC, if you remember that name. Hornet Racing was Jamie Hendricker and Steve Kramer and Dave Kleinert, and there might have been one more I'm forgetting. But they had the old Hornetmobile. It was an RV that was decked out with the Brown County Hornet, green and gold. They took it from fair to fair. And cooked out and had their coolers and just had a good time and had a lot of good memories doing that.
Yep. And so again, fun times that you can have going to the races.
Driver change on number 5, Hope Forever, and the driver will be LaDerrick Huggins. That's in this second race. The driver of number 5, Hope Forever, LaDerrick Huggins. First name LaDerrick, Laderick. He also goes by Derek. Last name Huggins, Huggins. He will drive number 5, Hope Forever. He's 33 years old, by the way, because the reason we mentioned that, he drove at the Macoupin County Fair at Carlinville the other night, and we sent incorrect information to track announcer Ed Teefee. We had told Ed that LaDerrick was 23 years old, and we had simply miscalculated. Hate to admit it, but we did. We looked at born in 1990, and we started running some figures in our head, and he's not up to his birthday yet this year, so we landed on 23, and then we realized later, no, he's actually 33, but LaDerrick, very kind about it. He said, I wish I was 23 again, so he said, I'm not going to complain about that. Getting ready to head to the starting gate here, or for the post parade here shortly.
Go ahead. Come on. Tell them bring them on.
Starters are out.
Everybody's on. Send them, darling.
Post parade forming up over on the backstretch. Getting ready for race 2, the second division of the Carl Becker Memorial. We talked about the fact that Carl was the track announcer here for many years. He first called races here at the Macon County Fair in 1965. For many, many years was the voice of the Illinois Stallion Stakes that were held here at Decatur, and also called many of these downstate classic races. Talked about his eldest son, John, being trackside, and just thought of the fact that John Becker has also announced here at the Macon County Fair, having announced the Auto Demolition Derby in past years for grandstand attractions. Here comes the post parade
for today's second race. Second division of the 3-year-old filly trot. Number 1 is G.J. Linda Grit, owned by Larry Longnecker of Sumner and Darla Martin Lohman of Effingham, trained and driven by Darla Martin Lohman. Number 2 is Mississippi Model, owned, trained, and driven by Jerome Daniels of Springfield. Number 3, True Fortune, owned by Milton Greer of Jackson, Tennessee, trained by Leroy Hunt. The driver is Juan Franco. Number 4, Peekaboo Sal, owned by the All Right Racing of Morton, Illinois, Bill and Maddie Wright, and also Craig Wright and Jordan Wright. Steve Searle is the trainer, and Travis Seekman the driver. And number 5, Hope Forever, leased by Charles Hurst Jr. out of Houston, Texas. The trainer, Roshan Trigg. And contrary to the program, the driver is LaDerek Huggins. Headed to the starting gate for race 2.
Okay, David, we're getting close to race time here. Just running a little bit longer than normal between the races as we get started here.
I think, in a big shout out to Evan Hall, the Fair Board president, I think they put some speakers in the barn area, but they're having some trouble getting them kind of ironed out. So that the
one other notice ahead to the starting gate for race number 2, miscommunication there on the driver change. LaDerek Russell, Russell. That is his last name, LaDerek. We can't get his age right. We can't get his last name right. So, LaDerek, we apologize. 33 years old, LaDerek Russell. Now we've got it straightened out. And Derek is always fun to talk to, and we should have realized that's who that was, LaDerek Russell. So, Derek, our apologies. At the post, and the gate is rolling for race 2. By the way, we talked about All Right Racing owning number 4, Peekaboo Sal. We know that Bill Wright, the principal of that stable, Millikan University grad, is watching on Harness Tube today. Bill sends his best, and he says, "Go Big Blue." Here they come, race 2. They are off and trotting, and there goes Peekaboo Sal. Bill Wright's filly goes right out for the early lead. True Fortune gets away in the second position. G.J. Linda Grit comes out racing in third. Mississippi Model is fourth, and Hope Forever is the early trailer as they head on to the backstretch and go toward the quarter-mile mark. It is Peekaboo Sal who's on top. Peekaboo Sal leads it by just a length. True Fortune right behind the leader in second. G.J. Linda Grit is in third, then a gap of 3 lengths to Mississippi Model in fourth, and then a margin of another 17 lengths back to Hope Forever, who's last. They go on by the quarter-mile mark. 31-4 for that opening quarter, 31 4/5 seconds. Peekaboo Sal is the leader. Peekaboo Sal, this is the filly we talked about. She only won once a year ago, but the training reports this spring have been outstanding on this filly, and so far so good for Peekaboo Sal, who's done some maturing, done a little growing up since last season, and shows the way as they come to the half-mile mark here in the second division of the Carl Becker Memorial Downstate Classic 3-year-old filly trot. Peekaboo Sal, the leader by a length over True Fortune. 102-4, the time for the first half mile, 102 4/5. So Peekaboo Sal still leads it. You still got True Fortune second, and here comes G.J. Linda Grit to the outside. That's the 7-time winner from last season. And here's G.J. Linda Grit now to draw alongside of Peekaboo Sal as the showdown is developing with a quarter mile to go between these two talented fillies. True Fortune is still in third behind that front pair as they head for the final turn. 1:34 the time for the mile. 1 minute or 3/4. 1:34 on a windy morning at the Macon County Fair. They turn for home. It is Peekaboo Sal, the leader. G.J. Linda Grit takes aim again from second, a length off the lead, and True Fortune is 2 lengths away in third. A final try from G.J. Linda Grit. Peekaboo Sal is hanging tough. Peekaboo Sal for the All Right Racing LLC and Millikan University graduate Bill Wright to win today's second race, taking this division of the Downstate Classic 3-year-old filly trot in the Carl Becker Memorial. It was G.J. Linda Grit across the wire in second. True Fortune got third. Mississippi Model was fourth. And Derek Russell with Hope Forever crossing the wire in fifth. We'll check the time for the mile. 2:04 4 was the time. 2:04 4/5. We'll meet the winner in just a moment.
Okay, David, interesting race there, and you end up on, you picked it correct.
It happens sometimes.
I think.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut, right?
That's what a friend of mine says, that a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
No, that worked out
You
the
got
way
the
I kind of
exact
thought it
nut.
would. Yeah, Travis went on down the track with that horse. It was trained well and ready for this kind of mile. And Travis was a little more careful than the first race and just make sure he got out there safe and got to the front. Fractions were about where we wanted them, so that was just a good mile. Unfortunately, Darla had to come a little too far, but that horse raced well too.
Yeah, and so a good finish to that race as we get things up on the screen for everyone.
Opening quarter in 31 and 4, the half in 102 and 4, 3/4 134 and 3/5. The time for the mile 2:04 and 4/5. Well, folks, looks like the training reports were accurate on this filly. She won only once in 9 starts last year, but she wins her season's debut today. How about a hand for number 4, Peekaboo Sal? Congratulations to All Right Racing LLC of Morton. Bill and Maddie Wright, Craig Wright, and Jordan Wright. Trainer Steve Searle. We told you Steve's won a lot of these Downstate Classic races as trainer. And Travis Siekman, Indiana-born driver with the winning drive here. Congratulations also to Don Longfellow from Chrisman, Illinois, who bred this filly, who is a $17,000 graduate of the Illini Classic yearling sale. John and Susan Becker, once again trackside to help present the Carl Becker Memorial. And Alvin Siebert, Carl's cousin, is also trackside, and Alvin's been involved, as well as John, with owning horses and as a breeder of racehorses as well through the years. Alvin's a former superintendent of speed, in fact, down at the Effingham County Fair. Bill Wright sends his regrets. He could not be here in person today, says he's been battling some health issues. So, as we say in the motorsports business, he's been in the garage for a few repairs, and good to know that Bill is joining us online today. And he has such a close connection to the Decatur community through his time at Millikan University as a member of the track team in the 1950s. Tempted to say that Millikan might have also been where he met his beautiful bride, Maddie. It's always fun to see that Wright family name in the program. Again, the time for the mile, 2:04 and 4.
David, the horse not wanting to cooperate to have its picture taken. In fact, it still wants to run, I think.
I was watching that little dog on the screen. I don't think
Patricia Fryman is our trackside winner's circle photographer. So, Patsy, thank you for being with us here today. She said, I was going to be out at the fair taking pictures anyway, and I was happy to help out at the Downstate Classic. Congratulations to our connections. Peekaboo Sal, a trotter named for a racehorse from the 1950s. Bill Wright put that name on that filly because back in the 50s, his father, Willard Wright, raced a trotter named Peekaboo Sal, one of Bill's all-time personal favorites, and it's been fun to see that name on a racehorse once again. Here's the full field rundown for race 2. From the top, G.J. Lindegrit with a solid effort was runner-up. Mississippi Model finished 4th. True Fortune 3rd. Peekaboo Sal, the winner, and Hope Forever finished 5. The opening quarter, 31 and 4/5 seconds. The first half mile, 102 and 4. 3/4, 134 and 3/5. The time for the mile, 2:04 and 4/5. It reads down 2:43.15. Our thanks again to John and Susan and Alvin for being here for the Carl Becker Memorial. The Kurt Green Memorial, that's race 3 and race 4. We move now to the Downstate Classic 3-year-old Colden Gelding Trot. And in this third race, the driver of the 7, Tear in My Beer, Juan Franco. A reminder, number 7, Tear in My Beer. The driver is Juan Franco. Horsemen, come to the track, race 3.
All right, David, as we go forward here right now, we want to talk about from the backstretch. Tell people what that's all about and why they need to do it.
The backstretch just being our way of interacting with our fans. One of my favorite parts of hanging out at these fairs is just talking to all the horsemen and horsewomen and enjoying the company and chatting about who we think and all the trash talking and whatnot. So we want to bring that into the virtual world if we can. So we invite you to go ahead and send us an email at harnesstube@gmail.com or text the number on the screen, 312-772-5122. Or the easiest way lately has been just drop a chat in the YouTube. We've had some people in the YouTube chat. I got a couple shout-outs over here. Tyler Stevens Clemens is again down in Oak Grove watching us, so we're getting a lot of eyeballs down in Oak Grove, which is a good thing. Tyler drove yesterday at DeCoin, and he's down there at Oak Grove in Kentucky today. And Randy Callahan isn't here, but he's back in Casey, Illinois, watching Harness Tube today. We thank Randy's for watching and following along.
All right, and with that, you can share your favorite memories of Illinois County Fair harness racing. Just a fair memory.
And I know you guys have them
channel.
because I've been on Facebook enough to know when the old pictures get posted, someone's always got a memory there. They say, "Oh, it's so and so. I remember when he used to do X, Y, Z." So send them in to us. We can share them. Hopefully the crowd and our fans remember it as well.
And again, send us some pictures. We need new pictures. I don't know.
I have to admit, at Carlinville, we got an email late in the card from Diana Bobby Decker's daughter, and she sent a bunch of old good pictures of the Decker clan, Tommy, Bobby's dad. It's so cool, but it was a little late to get on the air that night.
Yeah, and again, making memories. Those people in the stands right there that Lisa is showing are making their memories of county fair.
Absolutely. And the smells and the tastes and the lights and the sounds.
All right, as we get ready, we'll go back to Kurt.
Scott Peratt, P-E-R-A-T-T. Scott's got the hot hand, folks, so far. He's won the first two pick-a-winner draws.
Okay, let's talk about race 3 picks out there. Lisa and I picked the 3-horse. Private Eye. Again.
Did you mess up my picks? I have 3-2-5 on my.
You have 3-2-5. You mean I need to go in and check that? I think you're changing them.
No, I'm like
3-2-5.
That's not even close. It might have been the last fair. I had 5-1-4 or something. I don't know.
3.
Yeah, I went on 3 with you guys too. Loose Private Eye and Casey on this one.
Okay. 3-2-5 is what yours is?
Yeah, I got to use Denbo in there. Yeah, that's what I did. TVS Cosmic for my third.
Oh, hang on. I got it. Hang on. I need to redo some things.
I think we've got a special viewer over here in the chat. I see a hot dog chiming in with an hola.
A what?
Hot dog might be a little brink boy if I had to guess.
Hot dog, the little brink. Oh,
that's the channel or the channel name.
Okay, now what did you say your picks were in this race?
I am 3-2-5. You put up 5-4-1, but I'm going 3-2-5.
Man. Okay, sorry about that. No. I'm not. Hey, you already got an exacta today.
Sometimes I just kind of pick numbers I think sound good and try to justify the picks afterwards. So
okay, all right. So everybody picks the 3-horse. The Private Eye. Everybody's picking.
Well, when you make almost $100,000 last year, it's tough to ignore.
David and Lisa are picking Dinbo, or is that Deanbo?
It's written Deanbo the way you would pronounce it out, but I was told last year it's Denbo after Denny, so we're going to go with that.
Denbo is second. I picked the 4-horse, Small Town Southern Boy.
You got it.
And then for the third pick, Lisa went different than David Nice. She picked Fox Valley Nautica. Again, she likes that Fox Valley thing. Wyatt Evanetti driving that horse. That may have something to do with it.
We're at a county fair. You have a Fox Valley horse with Kevin Miller and Wyatt Evanetti. It would be tough to overlook that horse.
And you and I picked TV's Cosmac. Wyatt Evanetti won, 6 races the other night or 5?
Last night?
Carlinville.
Yeah, 6, 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, so he's got a hot hand right now.
And I think he's 2 years in a row the leading driving champion. You got to go 3 years back. I think Jamaica had it. So he's the county fair driving champion. So Wyatt knows these county fair ovals as good as anybody.
And everybody's picking Casey Leonard, driving the 3-horse, the Steve Cyril horse out there to win this. And so again. Send us your picks too. We're interested in that. Randy, if you're out there, you usually give me a hard time about picking a front runner. So
I want to go ahead and just mention something really quick here. If memory serves me correctly, if you look at the program, number 3, Lou's Private Eye, the champion from last year, made almost $100,000. Is a Lou's Legacy colt out of a mare named Band's One Eye Love by Band's Gold Chip. Now, Doc Flacco up at Flacco Family Farms bred that horse, Band's One Eye Love, and if I remember correctly, that horse raced with one eye, was born without an eye or had some accident when it was young, and raced its entire career with one eyeball. And of course, that's not something that will be passed down to genetics. So they bred that mare, and it turned out to be a good gamble because here's loose private eye, made $98,000 as a 2-year-old. That's tough to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And again, the reason why the purses are what they are today is because these horses have a track record.
Yeah. Yeah, the Downstate Classic is a special event. You have to pay into it, and the fairs have to bid.
There is a driver change, an additional driver change in this upcoming third race on number 4, Small Town Southern Boy. And to keep consistent with U.S. Trotting Association records, the driver, we are going to list his name as Laderick Huggins, as we originally did earlier today. Laderick is the gentleman who drove in the second race on the 5 Hope Forever. And the U.S. Trotting Association officially lists his name as Laderick Huggins, and that's the way we are going to go on the microphone today. So please note that Laderick Huggins is the driver for the 4, Small Town Southern Boy, and Laderick Huggins was the driver in race 2 today of number 5, Hope Forever. I think the confusion comes in from the fact that he's known to a lot of us as Derek or Laderick Russell, which I believe is how he's got his Facebook page listed. But Facebook is not official for our records in harness racing, so we love social media. It can be a lot of fun. But if we want to keep the scorecard official, we will go on the microphone with the official listing with the U.S. Trotting Association, Laderick Huggins. Regardless, good to have Laderick and all of our horsemen here with us today, getting ready for this third race.
Again, records are kept, and things need to be kept in order.
Ask and ye shall receive. I'm getting some pictures come in over here, but unfortunately I got them in Snapchat, and I'm technologically unsavvy enough to figure out how to save them out of Snapchat, so I request we send them over via text. But we do have some more people watching, so I'll try to get those over to you as soon as I can.
Great. That'd be awesome if you can send them over to me somehow in a text.
I'll get them ASAP.
Maybe I can get them out there.
But while we're waiting on that, I mean, I was getting texts from Kyle and Nicole Wilfong over in Indiana. Those of you know Kyle, obviously, longtime Illinois horseman, raced on the Chicago circuit for years, stepped up over to the Indiana Hoosier track and full-time there the last maybe 2 years. Top 3 driver, I think, in that driver's colony. Very talented. His wife, Nicole, sent a picture from their barn. Good friends of the Bowen family. They had Skeeter Machine for us in Western Perch and all of them up in Chicago, so good friends.
All right, with that, we're going to keep it here as the gate is getting ready. We're going to turn it over to track announcer Kurt Becker.
The GOAT.
Horses parading to the post for race 3, the Downstate Classic 3-year-old colt and gelding trot, the first of 2 divisions. This is the Kurt Green Memorial. More on Kurt in just a moment. Number 1 is Fox Valley Nautica, owned by Kevin and Keith Miller of Arthur, Glenn Otto of Arthur, Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, trained by Kevin Miller, the driver Wyatt Avenetti. 2 is Denbo, owned and trained by Dennis Gardner of West Salem, Illinois, the driver Travis Siekman. 3 is the reigning Illinois-bred champion, 2-year-old trotting colt or gelding of last season, Lose Private Eye, makes his season's debut. The champ, owned by Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco, Rick and Tabby Flacco, trainer Steve Searle, driver Casey Leonard. Number 4, Small Town Southern Boy, owned by Torres Tucker of Brandon, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg. Laderick Huggins is in the bike. Number 5, TVS Cosmac, owned by Jerome Daniels of Springfield and David Williams of Byron, Mississippi. Jerome Daniels, the trainer driver. 6, Dashing Durango, owned by Dr. Stephen Renard of Hamilton, trained by Jill Brown, her husband Chris Brown in the bike. And number 7, Tear in My Beer, owned by Mike Brink of Springfield, Mark Brown of Chatham, Jeffrey Clausen of Macomb, Dr. Robert Lacey of Nokomis, the trainer Mike Brink, and contrary to the program, the driver is Juan Franco. Field now approaching the starting gate and getting lined up and ready to go here at the Macon County Fair. So with a field of 7 horses, looks like the front 6 will line up in the front tier on the gate. So number 7, Tear in My Beer, is the horse that will drop back and start from the second tier. We do score 6 wide on this wide, spacious half-mile track. Kurt Green grew up here in Macon County, went all the way to the National Hall of Fame as a writer, historian, racetrack executive, and harness racing publicist. And problems coming down for the start for Denbo. Denbo is off stride. The rest are off and trotting, and there goes Dashing Durango. Dashing Durango from that far outside starting spot goes out for the early lead. Lose Private Eye gets away in second down toward the inside. TVS Cosmac is away racing in third. Fox Valley Nautica comes away in the fourth position. Tear in My Beer is in fifth. Dinbo is in sixth position as they head on to the backstretch, and Small Town Southern Boy broke stride on the first turn and is last. And here comes Fox Valley Nautica with a rush. Fox Valley Nautica 0 for 14 lifetime, looking to spring an upset here in race 3, just rushes up and takes the lead past the quarter-mile mark. 32 and 3 for the opening quarter, 32 and 3/5 seconds. Around that west turn they go, and after 3/8 of a mile, Fox Valley Nautica leads it by a length and a half. Lose Private Eye is racing along in the second position. Then a gap of 3 lengths to Dashing Durango in third position. And then TVS Cosmac, who's in fourth. A gap of 8 more lengths back to Tear in My Beer, who is fifth by a length. And then Dinbo next to last, and a dozen more lengths back to Small Town Southern Boy. 102 flat for the first half mile, 102 flat. Fox Valley Nautica leads it. The question, when does the champ make his move? Lose Private Eye is right there in second, continues to draft in behind the leader. Fox Valley Nautica, though, still leading it by a length, just over a quarter mile to go. Lose Private Eye in the second position, 2 more lengths back. Dashing Durango is third by a length, and then TVS Cosmac is fourth as they head on to the final turn after the 3 quarters. 133 and 2 the time, 133 and 2/5. Here comes the champ. It is Lose Private Eye, moving to the outside and coming after a stubborn foe in the form of Fox Valley Nautica. Lose Private Eye from the outside gets a narrow lead. It's going to be Lose Private Eye, successful in his 3-year-old debut. Draws off and wins it by just over 3 lengths for Casey Leonard. Fox Valley Nautica was second, 5 more lengths to TVS Cosmac in third. Dashing Durango was across the wire in fourth. Tear in My Beer was fifth. Dinbo was sixth, and Small Town Southern Boy was seventh. Time for the mile, 2:03 and 2/5. 2:03 and 2. The winner, Lose Private Eye. Recapping the fractions in that third race, it was 32 and 3 at the quarter, 102 at the half, 3 quarters and 133 and 2/5. The time for the mile, 2:03 and 2/5. Lose Private Eye, your unofficial winner here in race 3.
All right, David, it looks like this is the unofficial finish here. Just to let you know that there's stewards.
By the way, our thanks to officials with the Illinois Department of Agriculture who are on hand for the racing program today, and they will be administering random post-race testing of winners of selected races here today. They chose the races prior to the start of the program. That reduces the risk of it being arbitrary. It's not that they wait to see who wins. They make the decision on the races, which races they will test the winner, and then they have an official position at the draw gate coming off the track to notify the winning driver to report the horse for post-race testing. Great news, by the way, the Department of Ag did summer testing all summer long last year on the fair circuit. Not one positive test for performance-enhancing drugs. So that is great news, and we're happy to report it. Doesn't surprise us. We've got some fantastic men and women in the horse business here in Illinois. And how about a hand for the winner of race number 3, Lose Private Eye, your Downstate Classic winner in race 3. This is a homebred for the Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis near Galesburg. Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco. Lose Private Eye is by their flagship stallion, Lose Legacy, the reigning Illinois Stallion of the Year. Steve Sir, pretty good. especially when it comes to Downstate Classic Day. And he has now trained back-to-back winners on the card. Thanks again to our speed superintendent, Fair Board president, and Downstate Classic president, Evan Hall. He's been right there offering his congratulations to our winning connections, and in this case, the Flacco family. Casey Leonard with the winning drive here. We told you Casey had a big day yesterday at DuQuoin, winning 4 races. Lou's Private Eye. You know, when a horse is good as a 2-year-old and good enough to be named the top 2-year-old trotter in Illinois, there's no guarantee how things will be when they come back the following year, but looks like all systems are go with Lou's Private Eye. Hey, Evan, have you got just a second? Scott, would you be so kind? Evan and his crew, they put so much effort into this race. Would you be so kind to ask Evan if he's pleased with the way this program's going so far?
Evan, what do you think of the day so far?
Well, the weather's fantastic, and I'll tell you, after the rain out we had, that was disappointing, but hey, you sure can't control Mother Nature, especially after the planting season that we've had. You know, we could say that, but this has been a nice make-up weather day. We feel like the track's in good condition, and looking forward really to see all the owners and trainers and drivers at the cookout afterwards, and just get a chance to catch up. You know, we really enjoy the sense of community within standard bracing. So.
And by the way, Scott, you heard Evan mention the cookout back in the barn area today for the horsemen. Pork chop sandwiches, ribeye sandwiches, that is going to be a fantastic feed. Can't wait. Evan, thank you.
If anybody wants to see Kurt after the races, he'll be having a pork chop.
You are spot on correct, Scott. Can't wait to get over there after the races and have a sandwich. We'll have the full field rundown in just a moment for that third race. And again, the Kurt Green Memorial. Kurt is someone that got his start as a groom right here in the 1960s at the Macon County Fairgrounds. Kurt was a kid that just fell in love with horses and with harness racing, and he showed up as a teenager asking the locally based horseman, "Do you need a groom? I don't know anything about horses, but I'm willing to learn." And from those beginnings, he started writing articles for the Decatur Herald, later the Herald Review, and became the chief executive officer and the president of the Red Mile Harness Track in Lexington. He became the president of the Tattersall's Horse Auction Company in Lexington. He was the assistant manager for the press office at the DuQuoin State Fair back in the Hambletonian days. Just amazing. A teenager goes to his hometown fair and asked the horseman, "Can I be of any help? I'd really like to work in this sport." They gave him a chance, and Kurt Green took that career all the way to the Hall of Fame in Goshen, New York. Left us way too soon. Kurt passed away when he was probably about 50 years of age or so, unexpectedly. And what a loss that was for racing, and yet what a privilege to reflect on the friendship that so many of us got to share with Kurt. And we remember him. Here is the full field rundown for the third race. It is official from the top. Fox Valley Nautica. That maiden was the runner-up. Give credit to that runner-up. Never won a race in 14 prior starts and gave the champ all he wanted in the stretch. So Fox Valley Nautica runner-up. Denbo was 6. Lou's Private Eye the winner. Small Town Southern Boy 7. TVS Cosmac 3. Dashing Durango 4. And Tyr My Beer finished 5. They got the quarter in 32 and 3/5 seconds, the half in 102 flat, 3/4 133 and 2/5. The time for the mile 2:03 and 2. Reads down 2:61 7:3 4:5. Pick a winner time.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois divisional champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
Okay, David, back on the air with racing as we get ready
Welcome
for,
back.
what are we, number 4?
Race 4, almost halfway through the card already. What happened?
I don't know.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It is, and it
And
will be.
I may have sent you a text as well, so we might have some stuff going on when we get time. Not right now. We got stuff going on, but...
All right, with that, let's look at race 4. 6 horses in this race, and I have to say, Loose Mandalorian is one of my favorite horses. I'm picking it, and Travis Seekman is the driver, Roshan Trigg.
Are you a Star Wars guy, or is it just...
yeah, I am.
Okay.
And then for my second pick, I went down to Shady Maple All-Star. Casey Leonard driving that horse. Mike Brink trained. And my last pick, the Fireball's Pride, a Darla Martin-driven horse. Chris Brown, the trainer. Is that correct? No driver changes there, right?
On which one? No, Chris is driving the 6. Darla trains and drives the 5.
She trains and drives?
Yep.
Okay, so...
We all had the same... We had the box trifecta, just shuffled around. I went with the 5 on top, Darla's horse, Fireball's Pride. That's a Doring horse out of Brownstown. Charles and his dad, Chuck, race horses. Or Charles and Kerry Doring, excuse me. But that horse was ultra consistent last year. 12 starts, 5 wins, 4 seconds, a third. We know we like Darla. If anyone can handle a trotter, a young trotter, Darla's the person to do it, so I like her out there on top. For my second pick, I went down to the 4, the Shady Maple All-Star. That's a horse owned by Adam Hawthorne, just subscribed to our channel. He's from down in Louisiana, Winsboro, Louisiana down there. But he's been up in the Illinois game playing with the horses up here racing for a little bit. We welcome him, but that's a nice bred horse for sure. And I want to say that was a different horse, or a different stable last year, if I remember right, Shady Maple All-Star. But the Shady Maple Trotters have been tearing things up lately. The coin yesterday, I think 2 or 3 of the winners were Shady Maple Trotters out of the massed breedings. And for third, of course, I went on top to lose Mandalorian. I had to go with the Mandalorian and Travis and Roshan.
We literally picked just backwards of each other.
We just shuffled it up.
And then Lisa's picks 4-1-5 as she went with Shady Maple All-Star as her number 1 horse. Number 2, she went with the Mandalorian horse. And then the 5, Fireball's Pride. So...
The second division of the Downstate Classic 3-year-old Colden Gelding Trot, the purse, $9,791. And if you're curious about a purse breakdown in harness racing, typically it's 50% to the winner, 25% for the runner-up position. And then further down the road, I believe it is 12% for third. I always get confused because of the thoroughbred business, because they do it a little bit differently, and that's where I get confused on the purse breakdown, because I know the thoroughbreds like to pay the top 4, and they rearrange the percentages differently. Bottom line, if you win, you're taking home 50% of the purse, and here's the starters. Here are the starters for race 4. Pretty nice purse, nearly $9,800. What a big day of racing here at the Macon County Fair. Number 1 is Lose Mandalorian, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, trained by Roshan Trigg. It is Travis Seekman in the race bike. Number 2 is Hope Star, leased by Frank Thigpen of Crystal Springs, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg. Contrary to the program, the driver is Jordan Patton. Please note, late driver change. Number 2, Hope Star, Jordan Patton in the bike. 3 is Slip Slide, owned by Mike Brink of Springfield, James Hepp of Steelville, trained by Mike Brink, the driver, Juan Franco. 4, Shady Maple All-Star, owned by Adam Ivan Hawthorne of Winsboro, Louisiana, Jade Hadfield of West Haven, Utah, the trainer Mike Brink, and the driver Casey Leonard. We've got owners representing all kinds of states here today. The 5 is Fireball's Pride, owned by Chuck Doring of Brownstown, Darla Martin Loman of Effingham, Darla, the trainer and the driver. And number 6, Lose Gambler, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown. And contrary to the program, the driver, Chris Brown. 50, 25, 12, 8, and 5. That's the breakdown in harness racing. There we go. Our presiding judge, Jim Austin, just gave us the thumbs up on that. 50% to win, 25% for second, 12% third, 8% fourth, and 5% of the purse to the fifth place finisher. We're set to go. Folks, we've got a rematch in this race. Just last week, number 6, Lose Gambler, rallied down the stretch at the fair at Martinsville to win the Great Midwest Trot by a nose on the wire over number 1, Lose Mandalorian. So you've got those two with a rematch. You've got several horses that have won 4 to 5 races apiece. You've got one maiden in the group. Slip Slide has yet to win, but comes from one of the leading stables in Illinois. Here they come. 4th race, 2nd division, Kurt Green Memorial. They are off and trotting. There goes Lose Mandalorian out for the early lead. Fireball's Pride is away in the 2nd position. Slip Slide is down toward the inside, but is off stride. Slip Slide goes on a break. Shady Maple All-Star carefully changes lanes to go around the outside of the breaking trotter. Moves up into 3rd. Lose Gambler does the same move and moves up into the 4th position. After that break, Slip Slide is now in 5th, back trotting, but racing 8 lengths off the lead and a gap of nearly 25 more back to Hope's Star after an awkward beginning and now trying to catch up to the field. Already the leaders past the quarter-mile mark. 32 and 3 for the opening quarter. 32 and 3/5 seconds around the west end of the course they go, and Lose Mandalorian is the leader by a length and a half. Fireball's Pride is right there in 2nd by a length. Shady Maple All-Star is 3rd. Lose Gambler is 4th. Then a gap of 6 more lengths back of that one to Slip Slide in 5th, and 25 more back to Hope Star, who is last. Halfway home in race 4, this division of the Kurt Green Memorial for 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Trotter, 2nd division of the 2 divisions. 104 and 4 was the time for the first half mile. 104 and 4. Lose Mandalorian continues to lead. Back around the east end of the course he goes, and after 5/8 of a mile, still leads by a length. Fireball's Pride is still behind the leader in 2nd a length, and then Shady Maple All-Star is racing in 3rd. Lose Gambler looking toward the outside now from 4th, but 5 lengths off the lead. Gap of 2 more lengths to Slip Slide in 5th, and over 20 more back to Hope Star with a quarter mile to go. It is Lose Mandalorian who is the leader. 136 and 4 at the 3 quarters. 136 and 4. Shady Maple All-Star broke stride and drops back into 5th. No problems for Lose Mandalorian, who's opened up on a 5-length lead, turning for home. Here is Lose Gambler trying to chase down Fireball's Pride in a challenge for 2nd, but Lose Mandalorian is already in deep stretch with that 4-length lead now, and Lose Mandalorian wins it. Lose Mandalorian won it by just over 4 lengths, over Fireball's Pride, and then Lose Gambler. Then a gap of nearly 15 more lengths to Slip Slide in 4th, another 7 lengths or so back of that one to Shady Maple All-Star in 5th, and Hope Star was 6th. 2:06 and 3 was the time for the mile. 2:06 and 3. Lose Mandalorian bounces back from a heartbreaking loss last week at Martinsville and wins this division of the Downstate Classic Kurt Green Memorial. Recapping the fractions from that 4th race, the opening quarter was 32 and 3/5 seconds. The first half mile was 104 and 4. 3 quarters, 136 and 4/5, and the time for the mile, 2:06 and 3. We'll meet the winner shortly down trackside. Lose Mandalorian, driver Travis Seekman, picking up his 2nd win on the card.
Okay, David, back up with the winner there. The winner being the number
Lose
1.
Mandalorian.
Hey, Steve picked the winner. That's great. I was not good on my 2nd horse pick. Neither were you. Let's see. Nobody got the 3rd place horse correct either. So I got the winner
He
of
was
that race.
born
I
in
feel pretty good
Indiana,
about
but
that.
he's been one of the leading drivers in Illinois for several years now, and he's the first driver today to score a driving double. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand for Travis Siekman with Lou's Mandalorian? Lou's Mandalorian, owned and bred by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, so what a day they're having as they go back-to-back as winning owner and breeder. Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco from their farm up at Alexis near Galesburg. Lou's legacy, the reigning Illinois Trotting Stallion of the Year, sires this colt who's out of Snarky Lane by Uncle Peter. 6th career win for Lou's Mandalorian. Roshan Trigg is the trainer. Laderick Huggins has been assisting Roshan with his stable. And there's Laderick, who we talked about earlier, standing at the head of this horse. And I know Roshan Trigg often tells us the only way you can race a stable, when you've got strings of horses all over the Midwest, pari-mutuels, county fairs, and so on, you've got to have a good staff backing you up. And I know that Laderick Huggins has played an important role of late in that Roshan Trigg barn. So, well done, one and all. The hard work pays off. Kurt Green Memorial. We talked about the fact that Kurt grew up here in Macon County, got his start here, went all the way to the Hall of Fame as a racetrack executive, publicist, and historian. Such a pleasure to remember a man who was a true friend of harness racing, the late Kurt Green. Congratulations to our winning connections here in Race 4. Scott Beal standing by over on the high side of the track in front of the grandstand. Scott, I know a few nights ago, Layla Hackert was crowned our fair queen. Now, here's the thing, Scott. I noticed the pictures. They had some great pictures online of Layla, and she looked genuinely surprised. I mean, those pictures were fantastic. When they announced her name, the look of surprise on her face was fantastic.
That's right, Kurt. Thank you very much. I am standing here with Layla. Layla is 17, a recent graduate of Macon Meridian High School. Layla, you were crowned Wednesday. Has it been a whirlwind 48 hours so far?
Yes, it has been.
You've been having a good time. Tell me, what's your favorite event at the fair so far?
It would definitely have to be this. I'm having a very good time here.
Fantastic. Now, what's going on tonight? Will you be back tonight?
I will be at the rodeo.
At the rodeo. We got the rodeo tonight, and the fair ends Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Well, now you tell me you're going to go to Greenville University. What will you plan to study there at Greenville?
I plan to study criminal justice psychology with a minor in forensic science.
Well, that sounds like a very interesting subject. I bet you'll do very well. And, of course, you'll be competing in January at the state pageant. That will always be a fun time. Layla, thank you very much for coming out and saying a few words. Folks, hope you're enjoying your day at the races. Layla, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Scott, and thank you, Layla. Indeed, always good to have the royalty here at the fair, especially on Downstate Classic Day. We'll have the full field rundown for you, the fourth race, in just a moment.
Kurt, I'm going to jump in here. They gave me the pick a winner name. The pick a winner gets $5. Troy Markert. Troy Markert. Where's Troy? There he is right there. Congratulations, Troy. $5 for you.
Troy, a man who owns harness horses himself, has owned some really nice race horses in recent years, and joins us from his home in Mount Sterling, Illinois. So got a few folks here from Brown County, and that includes our Harness Tube crew. A reminder, you can catch the live stream if you go to youtube.com and enter Harness Tube in the search field. Good to have Steve Surratt and David Brink anchoring the broadcast. David stepped over and reminded me a moment ago. He said regarding Travis Siekman, yes, he makes his home in Indiana. That's true, but he said a reminder, he actually grew up in Michigan. And not that we didn't trust David, but we found out he is right. We did check the U.S. Trotting Association online. David, you've never lied to us yet, and your record is still intact. David Brink is absolutely correct. Travis Siekman, born and raised in Michigan, but makes his home in Indiana. Here's the full field rundown for that fourth race. From the top, Lou's Mandalorian was the winner. Hope Star was 6. Slip Slide finished 4th. Shady Maple All-Star finished 5. Fireball's Pride, the runner-up, and Lou's Gambler was 3rd. The opening quarter, 32 and 3/5 seconds. The half in 104 and 4. 3 quarters, 136 and 4/5. The time for the mile, 206 and 3. Reads down 164. 523. Race 5 is coming up. First division of the 3-year-old filly pace, the Leroy Moyer Memorial, the first of 3 divisions. A reminder about the driver changes in race 5. The driver of the 6 Paradise Tomorrow, Wyatt Avenetti. Wyatt Avenetti drives number 6. And the driver of the 7 Revenge Rosie, Travis Seekman. Travis Seekman drives the 7 Revenge Rosie.
Hot dog and chips for $28. Rolling Greens memberships are inexpensive and include free range balls, discounted league play, and an opportunity to play as few or as many holes as you desire daily. Call for a tee time today at Rolling Greens, 217-773-3085.
Back with David Brink on Harness Tube. We don't want you to forget to subscribe and to follow. We are getting your pictures, by the way. I got another one here.
We're coming. Yeah, we're sending them over to Steve, and we're trying to get them up on the computer. The internet's always fun, but we're working on it over on our end.
And so we'll see what we can get done here. I might be able to hook the phone up direct here.
We'll figure
in
something
a few
out.
moments.
We got a half a.
Here, let me see that C cord right
okay,
there.
Take that one then.
Let me see if I can get that up and going. But don't forget to subscribe and to
follow all the buttons I keep saying, because I'm not even sure what's on which social media anymore, but they all have a purpose, and all the purposes do help us, as run this thing and try to keep you guys informed.
Wrong cord.
Wrong cord. Try a different one.
I'll get a different one. Don't worry.
Try that?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll get it here.
Oh yeah, I have an Apple cord, don't I?
Yeah, you've got one of those unforbidden fruits there.
There's something or not.
Yeah, folks, if the opinion is that Apple, if you look at Apple, has a bite out of it, I just want you to go back to Adam and Eve. My son used to say Apple was the devil, and so I get the context there. We're over 500 subscribers, folks.
Yeah.
And you can stay tuned for details for the $100 gift certificate that we're going to give away.
We crossed that big threshold,
Designed by Des.
And that is Travis Seekman's wife. Desiree Seekman's an Illinois horseman. She grew up as a Ledford here in the Chicagoland area, racing at Balmoral and Maywood for years. Got with Travis and moved over to Indiana, but she does a great job with custom swag, we'll call it, apparel and all that kind of good stuff, tack and stable equipment. She makes all that kind of stuff. She's been dabbling in helmets lately, folks, and don't sleep on her helmets. Yeah, I got into that a little bit and made one for Doug and for Dad, and just like the idea of the artistic element, and Desiree picked it up herself and has been doing it for the last year or two and making Travis a helmet and done some really cool jobs with her artistic eye and kind of incorporating some of the personal touches into the design, which I think is really cool. So hopefully we can get our drawing drawn here sometime coming up and get our fan that $100 gift card to Designed by Des.
Okay, David, as we are getting ready for the next race, we'll flip it over to our other view here. And you have to excuse us today as we're trying to operate several things at once and trying to make some updates, but we'll get that done.
The purse just over $8,000. Number 1, Counselor M, owned by David Williams of Byron, Mississippi. Owned also by Javian Jacquez Carter of Clinton, Mississippi. Trained by Cornelius Cabot, Jordan Patton of the bike. Tune Light Moon is owned by Glenn Bauman of Mulkeytown and Anita Simmons of Springfield. Trained by Tom Simmons. The driver is Casey Leonard. Number 3 is Big Flicka, owned by Nan Turner of Argenta. Trained by John Fletcher. The driver Matt Abedetti. Number 4, Adelicia, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Jamaica Patton of Rochester, owned also by Ryan Speary of Springfield, trained by Jamaica Patton, Jamaica in the bike. 5, Hermia Star, owned by Brian and Handy Herzog of Beecher City. Freddie Patton Jr. is the trainer driver. Number 6, Paradise Tomorrow, owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, Glenn Otto of Arthur, Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, trained by Kevin Miller, and the driver is Wyatt Avenetti, contrary to the program. Number 7, Revenge Rosie completes the field. Races for owner Lori Searle of Springfield, trainer Mike Brink, and the driver, contrary to the program, is Travis Seekman as the field field has now reached the starting gate. They are at the post, and the gate is rolling here in race 5. Good to have you with us on a breezy but beautiful day for racing here in the Downstate Classic at the Macon County Fair.
That's Juan Franco said. I believe that's Juan Franco.
Yeah, sure is. Contrary to the earlier announcement, it is Juan Franco on the 7 Revenge Rosie, so please note that change. Juan Franco on the 7. And they are often pacing here in race 5. There goes the Light Moon out for the early lead. Big Flicka has early speed as well. Off stride goes Counselor M, and Revenge Rosie got caught up behind her and broke stride as well. They are both free and clear of one another, both on their feet, both still in the race, but with a lot of ground to make up. Big Flicka, in the meantime, survives that early speed duel, comes out on top, and at the quarter, Big Flicka leads it by 2 lengths as they go by the quarter. The Light Moon is racing in second position by just a length.
29 and 1.
29 and
Whoa.
1, fastest opening quarter of the day, 29 and 1. Annalicia is racing in third position, then a gap of 3 more lengths to Hermia Star in fourth. Paradise Tomorrow is fifth. Revenge Rosie, again with Juan Franco on the bike, is in sixth. And Counselor M is off stride again, the distant trailer back there in seventh. Halfway home in race 5, first division of the Downstate Classic, 3-year-old filly pace, the Leroy Moyer Memorial, and it is Big Flicka, the leader.
58 and
58 and 3 for the first half mile. 58 and 3/5 seconds.
Remembering a great horseman who was based right here in Macon County, Leroy Moyer, and a Macon County connected horse, Big Flicka, with the lead, but here comes a challenge from Adelicia. Adelicia moves up on the outside within a neck of the leader. You still got Big Flicka there to the inside, and it is Adelicia right alongside in second position. Delight Moon is in third. Paradise Tomorrow fourth, is still 5 lengths off the lead. Hermia Star is in fifth. 129 and 3, the time at the 3/4, 129 and 3. Big Flicka has turned back the challenge and leads and opens up by 2 lengths off the turn, but here comes Delight Moon. Now the question is, does Delight Moon have enough time before that finish line gets here to catch Big Flicka? Big Flicka still has the lead. Delight Moon second. There's a length separating the two. Big Flicka's going to do it. Big Flicka for owner Nan Turner of Argenta to win the first division of the Leroy Moyer Memorial. Big Flicka the winner. Delight Moon was home second. Paradise Tomorrow was across the wire third. Adelicia fourth. And then Hermia Star fifth. Revenge Rosie was sixth. And Counselor M seventh. 159 and 4. Our first sub 2 minute mile of the day. 1 minute 59 and 4/5 seconds. Big Flicka. Recapping the fractions in race 5, the opening quarter was 29 and 1. The opening half mile, 58 and 3. 3/4, 129 and 3. And the time for the mile, 1 minute 59, 4/5 seconds.
Okay, David, I apologize to our viewers out there that I kind of messed up there and didn't get volumes back up. I was trying to do too many things at once. Ever do that?
A lot. Oh, look at that coat. The Leroy Moyer coat right there on the camera. That's so cool. This is the Leroy Moyer Memorial Race. A lot of memories with Leroy. It's cool to see the stable
It was just a few weeks ago on May 1st when Leroy Moyer passed away. Leroy stabled here at the Macon County Fairgrounds for many years and raced so many Illinois breds that were champions in the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes that went on to make their mark at the Chicago Paramutuals. I couldn't help but think how appropriate it is that the 3-year-old filly Pace in the Downstate Classic is named in Leroy's memory. I remember a pacing filly by the name of SS Strike that he raced with a lot of success. That was just one of the many multiple stakes winners from his barn. Now, folks, you have the inaugural memorial for Leroy Moyer, who was based right here, lived right here in Macon County. And the winner of the first division is a Macon County-owned horse. What a special moment this is. There's the owner, Nan Turner of Argenta, about to move into the winner's circle. John Fletcher, the trainer. Matt Avenatti, the driver. How about a hand for number 3, Big Flicka? And it was just a year ago that Nan Turner and John Fletcher had a pacing filly named Philly's daughter of Philly's Finale, Philly's Revenge, that won the 3-year-old filly pace. So continued success in the Downstate Classic for these connections. We were talking back in the barn area, reminiscing about Leroy Moyer before the races today. He loved animals of all kinds, horses, rabbits, dogs. He absolutely loved to be a steward of God's creation, as I think he probably would have put it. Those white driving colors with the blue braces on the back, so many fond memories of watching Leroy Moyer on the racetrack through the years. And we remember Leroy, and incredible that the very first division of his very first memorial race, the winner right here from Macon County. Matt Avenatti and John Fletcher just being a little careful there with this filly. Sometimes after a race is over, you got to be careful and double check the equipment, and Matt's going to, as a precautionary measure, unhitch the race bike here. Sometimes if you get a hobble that's hung up, it kind of got slung the wrong way over the rear leg, take the race bike off, go to work, and get the equipment repaired and straightened out, and obviously do what's in the best interest of the horse. That was always another philosophy of that Leroy Moyer stable. The horse comes first. Let's check in with Scott Beal. Scott?
Nope. Pull those down. That's my one thing.
Nan, big win there. I know you love to win here on your home track. What's it like? I talked to you last year. You won a race. This is getting to be a habit. It's a pretty good day so far.
It's old.
Yeah, that's right. I know you're from Argenta. You love Macon County. It must be great to win on your home track.
It's getting prettier every year. They've really done a good job.
They have. Evan's done wonderful work here, and I know it's great for hometown people like you to come back and race.
It certainly is, and I've got quite a few of them over there and up here too. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. I talked to somebody in the grandstand. They said they were your groupie, so you've got fans in the grandstand.
Come down for the picture.
Well, maybe they were shy.
There they are.
Kurt?
Thank you, Scott. And indeed, as you said, Nan Turner loves to win at home, and Nan, just an incredible history as an owner in the Downstate Classic. And folks, you got to appreciate the caution and the care that trainer John Fletcher and driver Matt Avenatti have taken with this filly. They've carefully removed the hobbles and portions of the harness. Fellas, that's as great a testament as any to our Illinois horseman's community. Well done, putting the interest of the horse first. Take every precaution before taking that filly back to the stable area. Well done, one and all. I tell you something else, folks. David Brink from Harness 2 pointed out to me there are several folks trackside for that presentation wearing the retro throwback Leroy Moyer stable jackets, those blue windbreakers that you see folks wearing. Oh, man. Here's the thing, Scott, you know I love racing memorabilia. I know you like collectibles. I would love to buy one of those, but I'm going to guess they wouldn't take $1 million for one of those jackets.
Everything's for sale.
What a great thing to see, the Leroy Moyer stable retro windbreakers. I absolutely love it. Full field rundown coming up.
Back with you on Harness Tube as we get ready for things here As we move right along, we want to give our advertisers their time that's due. We want to thank Loman Ray Insurance for being one of our advertisers as I get that screen corrected. Sorry, just not having a good technical day. So that's out there.
Before we go to the post for the upcoming 6th race, and we know we still owe you that full field rundown. But
and next, U.S. Trotting.
And so many of the orange pylons that mark the inside boundary of the racing surface, they're supposed to be vertical. Right now, a lot of them are horizontal. And we want to get the pylons either reset or removed off the racing surface because horses, being the living, breathing creatures that they are, as the saying goes, these are not machines. And horses can sometimes look down and see an object on the track. They will shy from it. They might get frightened by it. They might even break stride when they see that happen. So right now, what we are doing, our track crew is coming down the home stretch and removing a number of these orange pylons. The horsemen know where the inner boundary of the racetrack is. The pylons, in a way, are there to some degree as a courtesy. But the pylons, in a case like this, where you've got high winds and the pylons are being uprooted and knocked over, and there's a danger of them rolling out onto the racing surface, our presiding judge has been in contact with the track crew, and what we have decided to do is to take the pylons in the interest of the safety, again, of the horse, remove those pylons from the inner boundary of the racing surface to reduce the risk of one of those pylons rolling out onto the racing surface and catching a horse by surprise, which again can sometimes lead to a horse breaking stride. The backdrop for the Downstate Classic, the wind toppled it a moment ago. So it's a beautiful day, but boy, the wind has been strong and persistent. We'll get you that full field rundown in just a moment. Scott?
Kurt, I had somebody hand me the pick a winner ticket. For $5, they drew the name of Graydon Bennett. Graydon Bennett. Hello. Are you here? Graydon Bennett for $5.
Race 6. That slide again.
I see somebody waving up there. There we are. All right, we found Graydon.
All right, David, as we get ready for race 6 out here, we're about a little better than half done. As we get ready for this, 7 horses in this race, and one of our favorite horses, you'll tell by David and I's pick, Sour Grapes. And I'm going to give Lisa a hard time here. She did not pick Sour Grapes.
What?
Yeah, she picked the 4 horse, Fox Valley Tessa. And the reason I think out there is this is a rivalry between these 2 horses, I believe. They've raced against each other before.
Oh, yeah, this class is competitive for sure.
Here is the full field rundown. Apologies, Scott. We heard you call for us.
So we'll go ahead and do our picks. 1-4-2 for David and 1-4-2 for me. But Miss Lisa with a 4-1-2.
I put Sour Grapes on top, right?
Yes.
Let me make a point here. There's a driver change on the 1 Sour Grapes. You know, I follow the Mississippi racing circuit a little bit, right? I try to keep tabs on that. And I saw a picture, I think last year or 2 years ago, of a kid winning some driving championship at a fair down there and had a trophy as tall as he was. And what kind of piqued my interest is I think he was wearing an old set of Kyle Wilfong's colors. I recognized the colors and didn't look like Kyle, so I clicked on the picture. Well, I got to looking around, and it was a kid named Zyler Maxwell who was like 16 or 17 at the time. And I tell you what, I turned on the races yesterday from DuQuoin that Trot and Pace were putting on, and this kid was driving at DuQuoin yesterday, and he put on a clinic. I can't remember if he's 17 or 18, but he absolutely drove like an old pro, like unfazed by difficult positions. Really kind of impressed me. So him being up on Sour Grapes, I kind of like this pick even better now.
Okay. All right, those are the ones that David is liking, and again, Lisa's going with the other horse, and so we'll see what happens here with this horse and what's going on. Any other thoughts on this race, David?
I'm thirsty. Does that help?
You're thirsty.
I had to get a drink.
I understand that.
This isn't a walkover. Anything could happen. I think, was it last year when here Fox Valley Kia in Phil, they had a recall. Remember, had to restart the race and had to kind of get that mare off the gate and wasn't really, so anything could happen to these fairs. You don't want to just assume that you're going to go with whoever you think is going to win, because these things are unpredictable, to say the least. For my second choice, I went down to the 4, Fox Valley Tess out of Steve Searle's barn. That's a horse owned by a lot of good folks who have a lot of good stakes horses. Bringing it down here to Decatur, Steve, and we got the driver I have is not Cordarius. Who do we have on the 4? I'll look somewhere.
On the 4?
I'll scroll up.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Travis. Travis Seekman's on the 4. I like Travis. He's a buddy of mine. The kid can drive, so it doesn't deter me whatsoever. For my third pick, Nay's Rendezvous at Dossie Minor. Ultra consistent lately. Big last quarters. Inside post. Use him for third.
Travis Seekman is on the 4?
Yeah.
I would say that is a good decision. Thank you, Jim Austin and Scott Beal.
18. Zyler Maxwell is 18 as of 10 days ago. You talk about young guys with confidence.
So a good call there by our racing officials to gently lean it back, lay it down toward the infield. Here's the post parade for race 6. The second division of the Downstate Classic 3-year-old filly pace, so therefore Division 2 of the Leroy Moyer Memorial. Get a purse of $8,077. Number 1 is Sour Grapes, owned by Julie Collins of Bullhead City, Arizona. Trained
by Phil Knox. Contrary to the program, the driver Zyler Maxwell. Number 2, Nay's Rendezvous, owned by Debbie Benjamin Wolf of Riverton, Jeffrey Wolf of Riverton, trained by Dossie Minor, Cornelius Cabot in the bike. 3 is Chiquitita, I should say, owned by David Williams of Byron, Mississippi. Laverius Carter of Clinton, Mississippi, trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr. Number 4 is Fox Valley Tessa. Fox Valley Tessa is owned by Steve Searle of Grant Park, Brian Code of Bradford, James Ellinger of Peoria, Gretchen Barnett of San Diego, California, Steve Searle, the trainer, and a reminder the driver is Travis Seekman. Number 5 is Gorgeous American, owned by Jacob Radel of Edgewood, trained by Cornelius Cabot. Jordan Patton is in the bike. 6 is Fox Valley August, owned by Bridget Williams of Clinton, Mississippi, trained and driven by Kelsey Perryman. And number 7, MC Skyscaper 2, owned by Deborah McCrae of Atlanta, trained by Nick Prather. Jerome Daniels is the driver. Headed to the starting gate, as the various orange-colored pylons have been laid down flat along the infield around the racetrack. The winner's circle backdrop, it has also been laid over flat. Again, just precautions because of the persistent and continued high winds here today, wreaking some havoc with some of these items that are positioned around the track. We want to do all we can in the best interest of horse and driver in terms of safety. Headed to the starting gate right now, race 6. Also, it's great to have the folks from the Decatur Canberra Club here at the races. Just a reminder, if you could stay a little further back from the inside lane of the racetrack and come a little further back toward the infield, that would be great. And again, just looking out for everyone's safety, spectator, photographer, equine, driver, all involved. Probably be best if you can to stay on the infield side of the ditch that borders the inside lane. The further back toward the infield, the better in everyone's interest. Here they come for race number 6. They are off and pacing in this division of the Leroy Moyer Memorial. There goes Fox Valley August out for the lead. Sour Grapes has early speed to the inside. And Sour Grapes and Fox Valley August, how about this? 2 fillies that both won here in the Big Ten Stakes 1 year ago at the Macon County Fair, and they go 1-2 early on here in race 6, headed up the backstretch. So Sour Grapes now has the lead by a length. Fox Valley August backs away, drops over to the inside lane in second a length. Nay's Rendezvous is third a length. Fox Valley Tessa is in fourth, a length and a half. Gorgeous American is in the 5th position. 30 and 3/5 for the opening quarter, 30 and 3/5 seconds, a gap of a dozen more lengths then back to Chiquitita, who is next to last and MC Skyscaper 2 is last after 3/8 of a mile. Back up front, Sour Grapes is the leader. Sour Grapes leads by a length. You still got Fox Valley August right there in second. Nay's Rendezvous is in the third position, has yet to move from there though. Fox Valley Tessa is a close-up fourth, and Gorgeous American is racing in fifth. 1 minute and 3/5 for the opening half mile, 1 minute and 3/5 of a second. Then further back, MC Skyscaper 2 moves up one position past Chiquitita, who broke stride and is now the trailer. Onto the backstretch they go. Here comes Nay's Rendezvous, moving from third. That's a filly that's got a high gear. She hasn't raced a lot on half-mile tracks. Cornelius Cavett doing a very good job just letting her find her rhythm, so to speak, around these turns today, and now she's starting to move up from third. 1:31 and 4, the time at the three-quarters, 1:31 and 4. They've still got to catch Sour Grapes, who leads it by a length. Fox Valley August is second, a half length, and then Nay's Rendezvous. Nay's Rendezvous, Cornelius Cavett says now's the time to go, but Sour Grapes has the lead, and here comes Fox Valley August. What a finish! Fox Valley August to the lead. Fox Valley August wins it by a length on the line. Close for second, either Sour Grapes or Nay's Rendezvous for that runner-up spot. And then behind that pair, Fox Valley Tessa was fourth. Gorgeous American was fifth. MC Skyscaper 2 was sixth. And then it was Chiquitita in seventh. 2:02 and 2/5 of a second. 2:02 and 2, the time for the mile. We'll meet the winner in just a moment. Fox Valley August. Recapping the fractions in race 6, it was 30 and 3/5 for the opening quarter, 1 minute and 3/5 for the first half mile, 3/4, 1:31 and 4/5, and the time for the mile, 2:02 and 2/5 of a second. Fox Valley August, a winner here last year in the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes, 2-year-old pace, and comes back and wins the Downstate Classic 3-year-old filly pace. Bridget Williams, the owner, is from Clinton, Mississippi. Kelsey Perryman, the trainer-driver. And if memory serves, Kelsey is Bridget's cousin. I believe that is correct. So the owner and the trainer-driver, cousins teaming up here for the win in the Downstate Classic in this division of the Leroy Moyer Memorial. Fox Valley August, a 3-year-old filly by the reigning Illinois Pacing Stallion of the Year, Some Star Somewhere, out of the First Dam Today is the Day by Cole Muffler. This filly wins in her season's debut. This filly had not raced since Labor Day weekend last year. So she comes back from the layoff and posts the victory here in race 6 in her season's debut. She was bred by the Fox Valley Standardbreds of Dr. Kenneth and Patricia Walker of Sherman, Illinois. And once again, the folks coming trackside in those magnificent blue jackets bearing the name Leroy Moyer Stable. As we remember, Leroy again just passed away a few weeks ago, and we remember him well. The horses that he trained at the fairgrounds, not only the horses he trained, but he took an active role in helping form this Downstate Classic. Leroy was a man of vision, and if somebody else had a good idea, he was all on board with helping make it happen. How about a hand for the winner, Fox Valley August? And there's Evan Hall, our fair president and Downstate Classic president and speed superintendent, assisting with the presentation of the Leroy Moyer Memorial to our winning connections, as Bridget Williams, who has been a winning owner in the past in the Downstate Classic, adds another trophy. Hello, Bridget. Congratulations to you and cousin Kelsey. How about that? Well done. Congratulations. Scott?
He says thank you. Kelsey, Kelsey, it's a pretty tight race there at the end. Were you worried?
Just a little. Just a little.
Just a little, but you came back and made a big finish.
Yes, I did.
She did all the work, he says. Thanks, Kelsey.
And thank you, Scott. Also, our thanks to our photo finish technician, Emma Schrock, positioned in the grandstand up near the top row of the bleachers, as she has been helping us sort through some of these close finishes. We've had some fantastic close finishes, as Scott just referenced, and big thank you to Emma Schrock. And a belated congratulations. Emma just got her undergraduate degree from the University of Illinois and will be pursuing a master's, I believe, in education, if memory serves. So, Emma, all the best to you. Here's the full field rundown from race 6. From the top, Sour Grapes, the runner-up. Nay's Rendezvous was 3rd. Chiquitita finished 7. Fox Valley Tessa finished 4. Gorgeous American 5, Fox Valley August the winner, and MC Skyscaper 2 finished 6. The opening quarter, 30 and 3/5 of a second. The half in a minute, 3/5. 3 quarters, 1:31 and 4. The time for the mile, 2:02 and 2/5. Reads down 2:37, 4:51. 6. 7th race coming up. A reminder, speaking of Kelsey Perryman, remember he's the driver for number 2, Fox Valley Tatum. Scott, I bet you're working on pick a winner over there.
That is exactly right, Kurt. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Childress. Where is Jeff Childress? You won $5. Jeff Childress. Right there. There's Jeff. Congratulations, Jeff.
Was great to hear earlier from our newly crowned Macon County Fair Queen, Layla Hackert, and been fun to have her helping with these presentations. Always good to see Evan Hall down track side. He takes a lot of pride in this fair, along with the entire board, and we appreciate all that they have done for harness racing and the Downstate Classic. And it was important, I know, to Evan to bring the Downstate Classic back to where it was born. That was one of the main reasons, because of people like Leroy Moyer and so many others who worked so hard to develop the concept of the Downstate Classic. And the races every 3 years or so are put up for bids, and you get a lot of fairs bidding on them. So the Downstate Classic for a while had left the Macon County Fair, and it was very important to Evan and the Fair Board. They wanted to bring it back home out of respect for all the hard work that folks here in Macon County put into helping create that concept. Our thanks to our presiding judge today, Mr. Jim Austin. Our timer is Pete Skeffington. Stacy DeRoos, our starter. Aaron DeRoos driving the gate today. Clerk of the course, Leanne Shin. Tom Shin, our official charter. We mentioned Emma Schrock with the photo finish. Thanks again to Patricia Fryman Photography, our trackside winter circle photographer, and our audio technicians, Miles and the gang from Boggs Audio Services. Good day.
Okay, David, let's talk about our donors real quick. We want to thank our donors. Let's go back to that slide for a second from that are up on the screen. We can't do this without donations. Advertisers, advertisers can be 30-second ads or banner type ads, but that keeps this for free to the people watching.
Which is very important. Since we set out from day one, it's always been a goal to keep this free, to keep the barriers to watching as minimal as possible. We want anyone who has the smallest interest in horse racing to be able to watch us and join along and maybe catch some of the excitement.
All right, and next with that, our schedule. Let's talk about our schedule a little bit. 21 possible dates overall.
Yeah.
And give David Brink a call. if you are looking, and we'll see if we can work it in the schedule.
There's a couple overlapping dates at the fair circuit this year, but if we can fit you, possibly get there, we would try to do it. We went through our schedule and tried to commit to the 20 we thought were the most doable, that kind of worked with where we had been in the past and whatnot. But if someone we'd never been before would like to have us, a goal is to get every fair. My personal goal of mine is to hit every fair to showcase horse racing at every fair that wants to have horse racing in Illinois.
All right, with that, get a hold of David through Facebook, through email, through phone, whatever. Whatever works for you.
If you want to rewind the video back and pause it on one of the ad pages or something, you find the contact info.
As we get ready
on race 7 here,
to go here, we'll, as I continually try to get the pictures up, David.
I promise those of you who send in pictures, we're trying to get them up. I don't know what's happening today. Steve's computer wouldn't get on the internet for a while, just little things like that.
And I can't restart it right now.
So it's those things where we're just, technology rears its ugly head every so often, but we do have them saved. I did get them sent, so if not today, tomorrow we'll get them up for you guys. We had Tyler Stevens Clemens down in Oak Grove from the barn area, and then Kyle and Nicole Wilfongen from their stable we're watching. And I'll tell you what, that's kind of a cool point to make, is there's a lot of barn areas, stables that have TVs in them nowadays. The guys who couldn't make it today to come watch the races, they're at their barn working, training their horses. They can have this on in the background and still keep tabs on what's going on in this world, So it's kind of cool we're doing this. It's cool that technology has advanced to where it has, and people are able to do this.
Well, let's look at this race real quick a little bit. All of us picked a 6-horse, first of her name. David and Lisa picked the 3-horse for second, Platinum Shark. And then I picked No Words Needed for that second spot. David and I picked for the third place, MS Grant 24. And Lisa went with another Fox Valley horse in Fox Valley Tatum for third.
Well, a couple points here. The Platinum Shark mare was bred by Id Teefy, so I remember watching that filly from when she was born out with the other weanlings. She's a beautiful gray thing. Always got a lot of leg under. She's a good-looking Revenge Shark mare out of Platinum Rocks. And she's owned, she's trained by Mike Brink, but she's owned by some other Brink clan. The Turniers and Blackburns of Springfield and Liberty are the Brinks, and Josh Carter owns that as well. But that horse to me is a little sentimental value. I watched her when she was little. I used to pet her when she was, weaning and feed her in the pasture over there. And another note on the 5-horse, Miss Grant 24. Tommy Lee Grant's been naming horses, I assume, after his wife, Mrs. Grant. He's had 24 of them up to this point. I remember back when I was a kid, Mrs. Grant 4, Mrs. Grant 3, and here we are, 24. So it's cool to see that naming tradition move on in the future. It's cool to see Tommy Grant still in the sport up here in Illinois racing. So I'm excited about this one.
It will be...
I just saw Platinum Shark on the track. She caught my attention. I tell you what.
Nice-looking horse.
She is. I'm a sucker. I grew up, my mom, anyone who knows Jackie Bowen knows that if it's not bay, she's a fan of it. If it's chestnut, black, gray, roan, whatever. She was always partial to the roan, growing up having shorthorn cattle and the roan color. But gray horses still catch my eye.
They are a nice-looking horse because there's not that many of them, David.
There's not. And there used to be more. The breeding is kind of concentrated down to the bay genetics, but... there was a time
in
when
today's
you see a lot of
race, number 3, Platinum Shark. I want to give credit where it's due. The owners, Darren Turnier, Michelle Blackburn, and Josh Carter. Sometimes those names are abbreviated, the first names with initials in the track program, but we really appreciate the folks that have remained loyal to Illinois racing, have invested in Illinois racing, and if at all possible, we try to do our homework and make sure that their first and last names are announced, especially on Downstate Classic Day. At the post gate is rolling the third and final division of the Leroy Moyer Memorial. And what a great horseman. And, man, we've seen some great racing in these 3-year-old filly paces. We've seen fantastic racing all day long today, and there's still more to come. Top of the stretch. Here they come. 7th race lined up on the gate, ready to go.
There you go.
Yep.
Brenda's Blazing Star put in some awkward steps and lost about 5 lengths off the gate coming down for the start. The rest are on their way, and there goes Ms. Grant 24. She fires out for the lead. Jamaica Patton determined to have the early lead with Ms. Grant 24 hammered down right to the front as they move off the east turn now and up the back stretch. As Fox Valley Tatum will go second here in the early going, and Platinum Shark is racing in third. First of her name is in the 4th position. No words needed is 5th, and Brenda's Blazing Star has caught the field in 6th, so it's 7 lengths from front to back as they head on by the quarter-mile mark. 30 seconds flat for the opening quarter, 30 seconds flat. Ms. Grant 24 is the leader, coming off a big win on the 1-mile track at the Illinois State Fairgrounds at Springfield a week ago. She leads after 3/8 of a mile, Ms. Grant 24, by a length over Fox Valley Tatum, and second by a length and a half. Platinum Shark is in third. Here comes First of Her Name. Now, First of Her Name also posted a win a week ago today at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, and she's moving into contention, third up on the outside, a break of 2 more lengths, no words needed, and Brenda's Blazing Star side by side at the back. A minute and 3/5, 1 minute and 3/5 of a second. Onto the backstretch they go. Ms. Grant 24 is the leader by a length. First of Her Name is now right off her flank, and the showdown is shaping up. The 2 fillies that each won a week ago today at Springfield, they are trading punches as they go on by the 3/4 mile mark. You've got Ms. Grant 24 to the inside. You've got First of Her Name to the outside, and Ms. Grant 24 has opened back up around the final turn. 130 and 2/5, 130 and 2. Now keep in mind, Ms. Grant 24 saves the ground along the inside lane around the far turn. She opens back up a length and a half. First of Her Name going to give it one final try. Here she comes again. There's still a length between them. Ms. Grant 24, Jamaica Patton all over her, trying to get her home in front of First of Her Name. Oh, this will be close. At the wire, it is Ms. Grant 24. Ms. Grant 24 wins it by a long nose or a head over First of Her Name, but what a fantastic finish. Just an incredible day of racing here today. 1:59 and 2. The time for the 1 mile distance, 1 minute, 59 and 2/5 seconds, the fastest mile so far on the day.
See that head
it's under
toss?
review.
Catches back. Skips there. Catches back.
Recapping the fractions in that 7th race, 30 seconds for the opening quarter, a minute 3/5 for the first half mile, 3/4 and 1:30 and 2/5 the mile, 1:59 and 2.
Got an inquiry here, Judge.
Okay, what do we got for a finish, David?
We are...
Okay, he's reviewing.
Now, folks, hang on for just a second. This is unofficial because our presiding judge, Mr. Jim Austin, is conducting a steward's inquiry. He has reviewed videotape, or the video. I guess we don't really have tape anymore, do we? That's kind of what's showing my age there. But the folks from Harness Tube, they are able to back up in a digital manner, let's say, the video feed from the race. And what it is, our presiding judge, there he is, Jim Austin, crossing the track. He's now going to go, and he's going to also check with our photo finish technician, Emma Schrock. Here's the question. The steward's inquiry focusing on the number 5, Ms. Grant 24, and was she off stride at the wire? There is a steward's inquiry reviewing the finish of the race to try to determine, was the 5, Ms. Grant 24, was she on the pace, or was she off stride at the finish? She appeared to prevail by just a few inches in the photo over number 6, First of Her Name, but there is a steward's inquiry pending, so stand by. More information in a moment.
Well, David, Stewart's inquiry, so I do not have complete or unofficial...
all unofficial? We need an official button, don't we, somewhere?
Yeah, official, unofficial.
We should... I'll write a note. We need an official... we don't need an unofficial tag. We should an official...
unofficial finish.
No, we just need an official button, an overlay we put on whenever it gets called
there
that
you
way.
go.
See, in the old days, they had an official light on the tote board. So you'd see the results of the race, the top 4 finishers. But
So
until
now
that
our
light
presiding
came on,
judge
you
is
didn't get
conferring
paid
with our
out.
photo finish technician, and if you're wondering, well, if he's looked at the video, why is he looking at the photo finish? Well, there's a reason for that, because slightly different angles, because the photo finish camera is positioned higher in the grandstand than the pan camera, which is down at ground level for the folks at harness tube. So what our presiding judge has done, he has looked at the camera down at ground level and has looked at the finish, but keep in mind, this filly, number 5, she was on the inside lane, so that may not have been a conclusive angle, and that is likely why Jim is now up in the grandstand to look at the photo finish camera at the freeze frame image as these fillies came across the wire to see if anything can be determined conclusively. Jamaica Patton, he's just waiting patiently. Jamaica had a good day yesterday. He trained a couple of winners down at the DuQuoin State Fair, and his stable, as always, is off to a great start as we wrap up the final weeks of spring and head toward the start of summer. So question now is, will this result stand? We will find out here in just a moment. This, folks, is one of my favorite parts of the county fair. That, to me, is a fantastic picture in and of itself. You've got the trainer-driver and his filly out here on the grassy infield just waiting for the result. The county fairs are such a fantastic backdrop for racing. Jim Austin now has come out of the stands. He is conversing with Jamaica Patton. More in a moment.
If you don't like my little unofficial banner, let me know. But we're going to use
And
that for
Jim
today.
says, thumbs up, he's good, the filly's fine. How about a hand for the winner, number 5?
Okay, we're going to show the video on
Ms.
that,
Grant,
David,
24.
again, as we come to the finish.
And we appreciate
We're
the
from
integrity
backstretch
involved. That's why
on.
we've got
You
racing
can take a look
officials.
at
That's why
this
we've
and
got
see.
rules. That's why stewards can conduct an inquiry and double check. And I love the fact Jim Austin said, let's just be sure about this before we make it official. So here comes the group down trackside, members of the family of the late Leroy Moyer, congratulating Jamaica Patton. He's the trainer-driver of Ms. Grant 24. Congratulations to owner Tommy Lee Grant of Jackson, Mississippi, and another winner, back-to-back winners on the card, bred by the Fox Valley Standard Breds of Dr. Kenneth and Patricia Walker of Sherman, another offspring of their leading stallion, Some Star, Somewhere. Jamaica Patton just got this filly in his barn a couple of months ago, and he said, I just had to kind of reprogram her a little bit. She needed a few changes made. Whatever the changes are, a tweak here and there with the equipment, training methods, feed, nutrition, all of it can add up and make a difference. And the bottom line is Jamaica Patton seems to have this filly on the right track. See if Scott Beal can catch up with our connections. Hello, Doctor. How are you? Appreciate that. Looks like Jamaica needs to get back to the barn. I know he's got a lot going on back there today, but Scott, we appreciate the effort nonetheless as Jamaica picks up the win with Ms. Grant 24. We'll have the full field rundown coming up in just a moment. The fastest mile so far on the day. And again, our thanks to the members of the family of Leroy Moyer for being here and giving us a chance to reminisce, share some memories of Leroy Moyer.
What?
Oh, okay. We'll go back.
p.m. Friday and Saturday, 11
Somehow
a.m.
we
to 10
got our commercial going there, David. We'll.
Here's the full field rundown. It is official for that 7th race. I love it. Thanks, Evan and Scott. Had to give a yell to the courtesy car and make sure that everybody got all the hardware they had coming to them as they head back to the barn, and they were more than happy to come back and pick it up. So again, congratulations to our winning connections. Here's the full field rundown in race 7. From the top, Brenda's Blazing Star finished 6. Fox Valley Tatum was 4. Platinum Shark finished 5. No Words Needed finished 3. Ms. Grant 24, the winner. And first of her name, a very close runner-up. The quarter, 30 seconds. The half in a minute, 3/5. 3/4, 1:30 and 2/5. The time for the mile, 1:59 and 2. Reads down 6:45, 3:12. So race 8 is on the way. First division of the Downstate Classic, 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pace. Guess what? The price of poker goes up here, folks. Biggest purses on the day, $10,000 plus $10,266 for our 2 divisions of the James Buddy Hanna Memorial. A reminder, number 4, Fox Valley York. Driver is Juan Franco. Juan Franco.
Authentic Mexican food. Open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come and enjoy their daily specials on food and drink. Having a party? Check out Los Rancheros for catering your next event or gathering. Los Rancheros Authentic Mexican Restaurant. 408 Quincy Road, Mount Sterling. Call 217-773-7800.
When I started at DOT, I realized I could make a career out of this. It's just amazing the people you get to interact with when you get here. It's a family atmosphere for me. One of my main jobs is talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, where they're at in life, what they're needing from me to get their job done. I've met so many people, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of all that. Big company in a small town, that's a fact. When my life needed growth, I chose DOT, and I never left.
Today. Well, the bottom line is, I got to think at this point, if you're Evan Hall, if you're this Macon County Fair Board, and if you're the board of the Downstate Classic, you've got to be thrilled with this day of racing. And the good news is we've got 2 more big races yet to go for our biggest purses of the day.
All right, David, technical. I'm having a technical difficulty day myself. It's not that I have too much to do. It's just one of those days. It's kind of like my golf game last night. It was terrible. And it's flowed over into today, just trying to keep my head up. Not that I have too much to do over here. It's just what I'm doing.
Well, we're joined here in the infield by
so much of it's
Brian
muscle memory
Kennedy,
that when you get out of your routine, you get
and he
completely
is the
whack.
farm manager for
Yeah,
Walker
trust me, I'm
Standard
the same
Breds.
way.
Those are the folks
We'll
that
go
breed
back
the
to
Fox
track.
Valley horses that have won a lot of races here today. Just wanted to check with Brian while we've got him. Brian, it's always fun to see these horses race, but we always know there's another crop coming on behind them. So the Land of Lincoln sale, it won't be too long before that sale gets here. So we want to ask you, how are those yearlings looking at the farm?
Oh, thanks, Kurt, for having me. They're doing well. You know, this will be the first crop of the new Chapter 7 Sun Southwind Chrome coming out this year. They're all looking very good. The Some Stars, obviously, with the first 2 crops that he's done on the racetrack. I'm very excited about them as well. And with the sale being on the 31st of August this year, the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, again, it's a busy time. It's always a busy time at the farm, but we're looking forward to everything. So,
I know folks always have a good time at the farm. The farm is so beautiful. I like to go just to sit and take in the surroundings. And so many Illinois champions have come off that farm over the years. Does that kind of foster I know it's a lot of hard work, but is there also a sense of pride for you and the staff each day when you walk onto the grounds at that farm?
Very much so. You know, being able to work for Doc and Pat is a blessing and an honor at the same time. You know, their legacy, not only starting up north, but then coming down to where they are now at the old Lincoln Lane farm and turned into Walker Standardbreds, is like you said, it's a lot of work, but it's something to live up to, and we just do the best we can from one day to the next. And as we're closing down the breeding and foaling season, and the yearlings will be in before you know it, and as New Day brings every new things that happen, but we're looking forward to it.
Speaking of which, I know there have been some challenges. A year or two ago, there were some tornadoes that came through the area, and I know that Doc and Pat have had an occasional health setback or two. So you mentioned Dr. Kenneth and Patricia Walker, who own the farm. How are Doc and Pat doing? Because we always enjoy a chance to catch up with them.
They are, for the most part, doing well. You know, Doc's, with his health setback earlier this year, he's on the road to recovery. It's going to take a little bit of time, but he's doing well and recovering every day. So we're just happy that, nothing further or worse happened with him, and we're just taking every day as it comes. But he's been proving, and as I told him one day, to see 92 years of age as he is now, you have a few more setbacks. And he always told me, he said, it was easier to learn to walk at 2 years old than it is at 92 years old. So, but he's still with us to learn to walk. So we're happy with that.
Well, that is fantastic, and we appreciate all that the gang at Walker Standardbreds have done and continue to do for Illinois breeding and racing and for the reputation of this program. Dr. Brian Kennedy, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Kurt. Thanks for having me.
Dr. Brian Kennedy, farm manager for Walker Standardbreds in Sherman. Again, their yearling sale, the Land of Lincoln sale, coming up on Saturday, August 31st. At the post right now for race number 8, and by the way, there is an additional driver change. Thank you, Jim Austin. He has told me that the driver for number 5, April's Big Guy, is Jordan Patton. So Jordan Patton drives the 5, April's Big Guy. First division of the Buddy Hanna Memorial 3-year-old colt gelding pace in the Downstate Classic. One Scrappy coming up, owned by Leroy Hunt of Jackson, Tennessee. He's the trainer. Owned also by Milton Greer of Jackson, Tennessee. The driver, Cornelius Cavett. 2 Fox Valley Ramiro, owned by James Cravens of Buffalo. Benita Simmons of Springfield, trained by Tom Simmons, Casey Leonard in the bike. 3 Guitar Man, owned by Doug Overheiser of New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Mark Winship of Canton, Illinois, trained by Rob Redoff. Travis Seekman of the bike. 4 Fox Valley York, owned by Ann Schneider of Petersburg. Benita Simmons of Springfield, trained by Tom Simmons, the driver Juan Franco. 5 April's Big Guy, owned by Flacco Family Farms and trainer Roshan Trigg, the driver Jordan Patton. And 6 Holy Lucifer, owned by Diane and Carol Hayes of Williamsville, trained by Carol Hayes, the driver is Wyatt Avenetti. And they are off and pacing in race 8. And there goes Scrappy coming up out for the early lead as Guitar Man fires out from the outside. Problems there for Fox Valley Ramiro, who broke stride. Fox Valley Ramiro broke stride, had dropped over to the inside lane and looked like he was going to get a good position in third, but then made a break midway on the east turn. Now he's recovered, he's last, and he is racing about 8 lengths off the lead. Back up front, though, Scrappy coming up is the leader by just a length. Guitar Man has dropped over behind Scrappy coming up and now travels in second. 29 and 4, the time for the opening quarter, 29 and 4/5 seconds. As they swing around that west side of the course, Scrappy coming up shows the way. Cornelius Cavett in the race bike. Guitar Man travels along in the second position for Travis Seekman as they approach the halfway point in this afternoon's 8th race. And then further back, Fox Valley York, who's racing along in third. Holy Lucifer is fourth. April's Big Guy takes to the outside fifth, about 5 lengths from the lead, and a gap of nearly 4 more lengths back then to Fox Valley Ramiro, who's catching up with the rest. 101 and 4 for the first half mile. 101 and 4. Scrappy coming up is the leader by a length as they hit the backstretch and head to the 3/4. And here's Guitar Man. Here comes Guitar Man ranging up on the outside to challenge Scrappy coming up. And these two trading haymakers at the 3/4 mile mark. They're matching strides as they head back to the west end of the course. Scrappy coming up to the inside. Guitar Man is on the outside. 132 flat, the time of the 3/4, 132 flat. They turn for home. An awkward step there by Guitar Man midway on the far turn. That allows Scrappy coming up to open back up. But here comes Guitar Man again. Guitar Man straightens course. Here he comes. And he is coming fast on the outside of Scrappy coming up. They're side by side. Here's the wire. Guitar Man wins it by a long neck. Guitar Man by a long neck on the line. Over Scrappy coming up in second. And then further back, it was Fox Valley York across the wire in third. April's Big Guy, who finished in fourth. And then Holy Lucifer. What a race. Again, we've said it all day long, but simply incredible. Once again, another driving close finish. Fox Valley Ramiro pulled up and did not finish the mile, was still on his feet, but did not finish the mile. Casey Leonard, we talked about the fact these drivers will do what's in the best interest of the horse, and as a precaution, after that horse made his break, Casey knows it's a long summer ahead, a lot more racing opportunities down the road, so Casey Leonard taking Fox Valley Ramiro off the racing surface back to the barns will be a did not finish. 2 minutes flat, the time for the mile, 2 minutes flat. Recapping the fractions in that 8th race, it was 29-4 at the quarter, the half in 101 and 4/5, 3/4 in 132 flat, and the time for the mile 2 minutes flat in today's 8th race. Not a bad day for Travis Siekman. The Michigan native and Indiana resident Travis Siekman. 3 wins on the day. How about a hand for Travis, this time with Guitar Man? And there's Rob Ridoff, the trainer at the head of the horse. This is the first time that trainer Rob Ridoff has raced a horse in the Downstate Classic, so congratulations, Rob. Good to have you in the history books for these great races. Congratulations, Doug Overheiser of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, Mark Winship of Canton, Illinois. They are the co-owners. Diana Wilson is the breeder of Guitar Man, a $20,000 Illini Classic sale graduate, and yet another winner today for Some Star Somewhere. That horse is an incredible sire. First purse start of the year for Guitar Man, and it pays off with a victory. Travis Siekman, our winning driver, he likes things that go fast. He's a big NASCAR fan. Scott Beal going to try to catch up with him.
Travis, when did you know it was time to make your move there?
I just didn't want to get trapped in the 2-hole, and I knew those Simmons horses were pretty good, so I took my shot down the backside, and we started pacing pretty good. So I knew I wasn't going to get him cleared for that turn, so I tried ducking on his back, then making my move in the stretch, but I was confident the whole way.
Confident indeed. Your 3rd win on the day. Nice job. You knew when to make a move, and it paid off. Congratulations, Travis. Have a good day.
And thank you, Scott. A good day for Travis indeed. A driving triple, the old hat trick, as it were, here today. And nice job conditioning this horse and bringing this horse back off the layoff by Rob Ridoff. Guitar Man looks to be one of the leading contenders this year in Illinois in that 3-year-old Colton Gelding pace division. 2 minutes flat was the time for the mile. We'll have the full field rundown coming up in just a moment.
Folks, we did play Pick a Winner, and we got a winner this time. Troy Markert wins again, had his name drawn again, 2nd time today. Troy, congratulations, $5 to you.
And thank you, Scott. Here's the full field rundown for that 8th race, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Buddy Hanna here in just a moment. Guitar Man was the winner, but let's give the full field rundown from the top. Scrappy coming up, the runner-up. Fox Valley Romero did not finish. Guitar Man was the winner. Fox Valley York finished 3rd. April's Big Guy 4th, and Holy Lucifer finished 5. Opening quarter 29-4. The first half mile 101-4. 3/4 132, and the time for the mile in 2 minutes flat. Reach down 2, DNF 1, 345. By the way, broken equipment was the issue for the 2 Fox Valley Romero, so broken equipment will be noted on the past performance line from today's race. Headed to race number 9, the 2nd division of the Buddy Hanna Memorial. Keep in mind that Juan Franco is the driver of number 2, JR Strike 3. Buddy Hanna. That Hanna Racing name, those roots run very deep in Illinois racing. And Buddy passed away at the end of April, just a few weeks ago. He was the son of Bill and Annette Hanna, and folks remember they have told stories about Buddy when he was a kid riding his bicycle out here to the fairgrounds to help with the family racing stable. And also served in the local and area government. He was a trustee for the village of Argenta and very much enjoyed this standard-bred sport. We caught up yesterday at DuQuoin with Buddy's uncle, Ray Hanna. And we chatted with Ray, and Ray Hanna had a great point. He said, if you want to remember my nephew and if you want to pay tribute to him, Ray said, please encourage folks to get those checkups on a regular basis. And Ray talked pretty openly with us about the fact that so many lives have been affected over the years by cancer in one form or another. And as Ray Hanna said yesterday, no matter what the situation might be, if it's prostate, if it's colonoscopy, get the checkup done and do so on a periodic basis. So we wanted to pass that along after that conversation with Ray Hanna yesterday. And we also wanted to take a moment to share that the Hanna name has been really important, and we've been fortunate as racing fans because the Hanna name has been involved here in Macon County. It has been involved down in Marion County, which, if memory serves, I believe that is where Ray and Bill Hanna actually grew up. Of course, Ray Hanna has based his stable in Effingham County, so it's kind of remarkable if you think about it. Marion County, Effingham County, Macon County, how the Hanna family has had a strong influence over the years in this sport of harness racing in Illinois. And we remember James Buddy Hanna, who, by the way, has a barn named for him. There is signage on one of the barns back in the stable area. It says the Jim Buddy Hanna Memorial Stables. Likewise, we noticed a similar sign on one of the barns for Leroy Moyer. We noticed signage in a similar fashion for Robert Wickline. Jack Whiteside, the speed tower, has been named in his memory. And one of the things that points to is we have been so fortunate in central Illinois and right here in Macon County. We've had so many people over the years who have given and contributed to making these fairs and this great sport of harness racing what it is. So Evan Hall, when we look around the ground, you know, it's a challenging situation because as our loved ones leave us, absolutely, that's something. Those are days that we always dread, and we hate to have to face those times. But when those who survive take the time and to properly remember those individuals and their contributions to the fairs and to racing, that means a lot to a lot of us, whether we are from Macon County or from elsewhere. So all of the effort that's been done to remember the horsemen over the years here at Macon County, Evan, to you and the Macon County Fair Board and the whole gang, a heartfelt thank you for those tributes.
All right, David, I have some great news.
I love great news.
Let's take a look at what we have here. We'll do a little side-by-side action.
How about it? There we go. It's up, folks.
The pictures
Check
are
out your
finally
screen.
up.
The picture coming in, we got a couple pictures there sent in to us. On the left, well, I guess we call it the middle, maybe we'll call it the left. I don't know. That's the Wilfong barn. Nicole Agosti. Wilfong sent that in, watching Harness Tube over there in Indiana. And on the right, we're back down in Oak Grove again, down in Kentucky. Tyler Stevens Clemens has a TV right there in their barn watching Harness Tube while he works today. We thank you all for watching and sending the pictures in. So much. Oh, there it is. There's Nicole's second picture. That's cool. Look at that angle. I love that. And the Harness Tube logo on the TV.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
I tell you, that logo is is smart. Always watermark your images, folks.
There you go.
Thanks, everyone, for sending those in. We love seeing this and kind of feeling part of watching it together as a community. You know, we've got people chiming in the chats, going back and forth, having a good time. You know, it feels like we're all kind of hanging out, watching races together, even if we are working or broadcasting or hanging out or doing whatever in your own home. We enjoy you having with us.
Well, we're glad to be here today, David. I'm glad something went right technologically for me.
Oh, we're on a replay. Okay.
We're on I hit the replay by accident.
I was like, why are the numbers on the screen? Because there's nothing. Okay. There we go.
Now we're back to the flag. It's technologically today it's been rough because we've had a couple of little quirky things, and those of you that have been around tech things, you're trying to fix the quirks and trying to do your regular stuff.
And two things get away from you.
Under normal conditions, the regular stuff is fine. But when you throw the quirkies in there, and we had multiple quirkies going on.
And you put 80% of your brain power on the quirk, and then you just, the muscle memory glitches, and next thing you know, you're caught off guard. You don't know how to get back.
Maybe that was my problem last night at golf. I was worried about a quirky thing.
Horses are on the track for our 9th and final race of the day, and this will be the second division of the Downstate Classic 3-year-old colt and gelding pace in the Buddy Hanna Memorial. A reminder, Juan Franco, the driver for number 2, JR Strike 3. Post-parade will form up, and we'll meet the starters here shortly. Folks, if you've had a good time at the races, and if you've enjoyed the Downstate Classic, let Evan Hall and your fair board hear it. Have you had a good time today? That's fantastic, and we've had a fun time bringing the races to you here this morning and this afternoon. Our final Downstate Classic headed to the post, but don't forget you've got the rodeo coming up tonight at the fair, and you've got the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes on tap tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with 11 races. Let's meet the starters for today's final event. Crescent Roller, owned by Catherine Ritzel of St. Jacob, trained by Darla Martin Lohman, Matt Avenatti in the bike. Number 2, JR Strike 3, owned by Benita Simmons of Springfield, James Cravens of Buffalo, trained by Tom Simmons, and the driver is Tom Simmons in the race bike. So, we're going to take our red pen, and in the middle of the post parade, we're just going to stop for a moment and pencil in the name Tom Simmons on number 2, JR Strike 3. And again, that horse is owned by Benita Simmons of Springfield and James Cravens of Buffalo, and Tom is both the trainer and the driver. Number 3, Enrico Palazzo, owned by the Megan Rogers Racing Stables Incorporated of Chicago, trained by Nelson Willis, the driver Travis Siekman. 4 is Super Shark, owned by George Pollock of Rushville, trained by Nick Prather, and headed to the gate right now. And in fact, hey, fellas, what do you got here? We've got to have a driver change. Travis can't drive 2 horses. Okay, this is what they've done. They've shuffled around. They have moved Juan Franco to number 3, Enrico Palazzo. So put Juan Franco on the 3, Travis Siekman as programmed on the 4, and the 5 you never can tell, owned by Adam Ivan Hawthorne of Winsboro, Louisiana, Devin White of Cotton Valley, Louisiana, and yes, that is the Devin White of NFL fame, trained by Tom Simmons, the driver Casey Leonard. So, they are at the post, and the gate is rolling as we wrap it up for this afternoon. Thanks again for being with us here today, and we hope you'll join us again tomorrow morning for the Illinois Big Ten Colt Stakes. Gates rolling, 1/8 of a mile from the start as we head on home here in race 9. Here they come. They are off and pacing. There goes Super Shark. He is fast away from the gate. You never can tell. Comes away in the second position. JR Strike 3 is out racing in third. Crescent Roller is in fourth. Enrico Palazzo is away fifth. Everyone quickly settles single file. A couple of lengths opening up early on between each position. So no early challenges or changes for position in that opening quarter of a mile. It is Super Shark who is the leader. Super Shark is on top by a length. You never can tell is second by a length and a half, and JR Strike 3 is racing in third past the quarter. 31-4, the time for the opening quarter, 31-4 fifth seconds. Super Shark is the leader. Super Shark shows the way and leads it by just 1 length after 3/8 of a mile, as You Never Can Tell travels right behind the leader in second by a gap of 3 lengths. Back to JR Strike 3 in that third position. Crescent Roller is in fourth. Enrico Palazzo is fifth and last. No one stepping out of line halfway home in the second division of the Buddy Hanna Memorial. 102-4 for the first half mile, 102-4. They head over to the backstretch once again for the final time this afternoon, and Super Shark is still the leader. Enrico Palazzo is out and rolling from the back of the pack from fifth to fourth to third. Now is challenging for second, and that will bring You Never Can Tell to the outside to move up between horses. So now a 3-way scramble for the lead as they go by the 3/4 mile mark, but Super Shark is still the leader. 134 flat the time at the 3/4, 134 flat. So Super Shark along the inside lane leads it by a length. You Never Can Tell is in second. Enrico Palazzo is still coming on from the outside. Here he comes again. This is a fantastic way to wrap up a tremendous day of racing. Enrico Palazzo storming down the center of the track to win it. Enrico Palazzo by a length on the line. Close for second, Super Shark, or You Never Can Tell. Simply a magnificent day of racing. The Downstate Classic, everything it was supposed to be. Pete Skeffington, what's our time for the mile? 2:02 and 4. 2:02 and 4/5. I mean, wow, what a day. We'll meet the winner. We'll play pick a winner, so stick with us, folks. We've got more coming up.
Huh?
David, I'm showing a replay here just because that was such a good race.
I was standing up the whole time.
Yeah, I'm hitting the replay button.
Recapping the fractions from race 9, it was 31 and 4 at the quarter, 102 and 4 at the half, 3/4 in 134, and the mile 2:02 and 4/5 of a second. We'll meet the winner of race 9. Again, we'll play our final winner draw of the day.
And did you get
great to have you with us, folks.
The breakdown there, we're on
thanks
the air,
again
David,
to our
just to let
friends
you
with
know
the
that
TMT trio.
Top to
I
bottom.
mean, just what a fantastic experience. Just adds so much to the atmosphere to hear their strains, that marvelous music. I think, fellas, am I safe to say maybe some jazz strains in there? Yeah, that's a thumbs up. Absolutely. Well, we've enjoyed it very much. Been great to have you with us today. And again, we'll meet the winner of race 9 here shortly.
As we get ready to finish up things, David, let's close things out. We'll take a real quick look while they're doing. I'm going to put the finals up here, but racing on the schedule. We'll be back here tomorrow, 11 o'clock post time,
Right
10:30
early,
on the air. And folks, come back. We'll have 11 races for you tomorrow.
Yep.
And
for some Big Ten action.
Yes. That'll be the great thing going on there. And guess what? Not a single one of us
picked that. No, that was kind of a long shot, I'd tell you.
Started with a long shot on the first race and a long shot on the last race.
There's a reason why they call the 3-year-old Colt Pace.
Now returning in front of the stands, the winner of this division of the Buddy Hanna Memorial, the second division of the Downstate Classic 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pace, the winner of race 9, number 3. How about a hand for Enrico Palazzo?
And so tomorrow we'll be back here. We'll take a couple of weeks off, though,
Is that a broken hobble hanger? Yeah, Juan Franco is giving us a nod of a head. Broken equipment. How about that? This horse wins with a huge stretch rally despite having broken equipment. Guatemalan-born U.S. citizen Mr. Juan Franco, your driver for trainer Nelson Willis and the owner Megan Rogers Racing Stables. Folks, congratulations.
Juan Franco's,
I tell you, the Megan Rogers Racing Stables.
Guatemalan
I don't know
gas
where
pedal.
that came from, and we can't fit it all on our screen, but we use gas pedal. Juan, we've heard his story so many times, came up from Guatemala through California into Chicago. He's worked all kinds of horses. Great, nicest guy you'll ever meet. And on is just good, solid guy. Works for Nelson Willis up there in Crete.
Okay, we'll go back to track.
Movie fan, I don't watch a lot of movies. Didn't the name Enrico Palazzo, isn't that from a motion picture?
Honestly, you've put me on the spot here. I do not know. I'm sorry. But I do know that we drew for $5 Randy Scott.
Okay, David, closing things out here. We'll be back tomorrow. We hope, because there's rain in the last I looked, there was rain in the forecast for tomorrow.
I have a feeling we're going to be on the road either way, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have to tear down today because we don't know what tomorrow brings, right?
We never know what tomorrow brings, but we plan on coming back for some more racing here in the Big Ten Association.
That is the plan.
Kurt's down. Never mind.
And so we'll be back tomorrow. Possibility of rain as we take a look here. It's supposed to start raining by one thing and rain clear up until noon.
Well, that doesn't sound good, but we'll play it by ear. Hopefully it misses us.
It's a 49% chance.
That's less than half.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Well, with that, we'll turn Kurt up just a second.
Some movies, like a comedy film, I don't know. Well, it does sound like maybe a name from The Godfather. But it was Salazzo and the Godfather, it was Salazzo. We'll get this figured out by the time we're back here tomorrow.
All right, with that, Steve Surratt, David Brink saying good night, goodbye, and God bless.